I welcome everybody to SciFi Vision for February 1st. Whoa, what the heck? I had something else there. I see my other bird disappeared. I'm going to be fixing it while you guys are doing the slideshow. But welcome, everybody. We're going to be doing School Spirits today. We're going to be talking about the first 2 episodes of Season 3. But before we do that, Scarlet is going to give a recap and Jenn is going to be very nice and do the photos. And I'm going to go finish screen capturing the ones for Season 3 so we can talk about it in time. But yeah, so do you, I don't know if I have to give you permission to screen share or not. Do you?
Let me see.
You know, I need to see if you can do it without me. And
can you see it?
I have to add it. All right, I'm going to add it to the stage here. I got to add Scarlet back too. For some reason, she disappeared. Here we go. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm going to go back to this. Whoop, no, that's not what I want. We want present. How do you do that? There we go. There we go. There's the pictures. All right, I am going to mute myself while you guys do the recap. And we will do we will talk about the first 2 episodes of Season 3. So I will talk to everybody in a bit since I haven't seen Season 2 or 1 and 2. I'm just going to be quiet. Yes. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Please make sure you like and subscribe to SciFi Vision and hype the video if you can. And we will see you in a bit. I will see you in a bit.
All right. Okay, my name is Scarlet. I will be your co-pilot for the recap of School Spirits Season 1 and 2.
And I am Jenn, the teacher, and I am a little bit sick, but I'm here as well helping out. Sorry for the congested voice.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have said that. Jenn is our new co-host, so welcome, Jenn. Sorry. I forget all the introductions. You know I do every time.
No worries.
And I also forgot the introduction, so, you know, I thought this first one was going to be kind of bumpy.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We got this, ladies.
Everybody, and hey, B and Doc and Kimberly. Sorry, didn't mean to ignore you guys there either. We see you.
Everybody.
Okay, so I'm going to say there's a spoiler here in the beginning, because, I mean, we are on Season 3, but this is the kind of show that you could probably watch the other seasons of and not be that spoiled. Because the first one kind of runs like a murder mystery, and the second one is kind of, they say it's kind of Twin Peaksy, but not really sure, but it's a different vibe. But I feel like they're enclosed stories, so you could watch them if you wish.
I agree.
So, yeah, so before I get started, I'm gonna go back after the video is done and put timestamps if people want to skip to another season or they want to skip all the way to Season 3. That's what I'm going to be doing.
That's sweet. Cool.
Okay. So, we'll see if you can keep up with these pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Season 1. The show starts at a pep rally. Pep rally picture with Jenn from Yellow Jackets. But you're going to go forward to Jenn from Yellow Jackets. There she is. Yay, Vanessa Percent. Now, I'm going to have a little story about her because she is the one that got me to watch School Spirits. So, hopefully, she says she lurks sometimes. So, hopefully, maybe. But when I interviewed her at Yellow Jackets, I always do a little bit of background check on like other shows they did. So I was going to watch a couple episodes of School Spirits, and I ended up watching 5 of them. So she's the one that brought me here. And there's a lot of Yellow Jackets connections with the show. So if you like Yellow Jackets, you might like School Spirits.
Definitely.
So it starts out here, which is funny because the first episode of season okay. Season 3 starts out with a similar Jenn conversation at the pep rally. Like this is the rally where Maggie is missing, but the prep rally in Season 3 is almost the same, like the same 2 girls talking. And I think it's interesting how it kind of the season's kind of like, you know, it's starting over again, but it has a similar scene.
Yeah.
So anyway, as a okay, so Jenn, her name's Kristen on the show, is talking about missing girl that half the cheerleading squad thinks is named Maggie, but it's Maggie Nears. As the cheerleaders dance, the camera pulls back on Maddie in the stands. It is revealed she is a ghost and not missing. She died at the school and can see other victims throughout the decades since the school was built, including, if you can find a picture of Charlie. Charlie, go back to Charlie. Okay, Charlie, who is kind of a closeted gay kid who died in the 90s from a peanut
allergy.
Yeah. He was in love with Tina Emilio, who comes back to teach at the school later on, who is adult Travis from Yellow Jackets, Andreas Soho. I don't know if you have a picture of him.
I do. I just have to find it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So
going through so many. Where is he?
There he is. There he is. And there's a whole subplot. See, this is a thing.
That's what he looked like as a kid.
Yeah, it's interesting to contrast that with teen Travis from Yellow Jackets. Because he's in two shows that have teen versions of himself.
Right.
And Charlie was in love with the younger version of him, but then Charlie died, and then he comes back. The guy comes back older to teach at the school. And they have a subplot. I was going to say, I watched another video where they were saying that this isn't really a recap. Like they have this one guy who's trying to learn the mystery of the first season. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos. I can't remember the guy's name now. But he's like, I'm not really doing a recap because you can go back and you can watch all the other stuff that's going on. There's so much going on. Like I won't even pinpoint on these relationships. But you can go and watch that even if you listen to this recap. Okay. So I'll go faster now. So he died in the cafeteria. There's Rhonda, the beatnik chick, who was murdered by her guidance counselor in 1963. There she is. She always has a sucker for some reason.
Yeah, she always is on a lollipop. It must have been like the time, and she like uses that also to call people things like cherry pop. There's always like something with her.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Pussy Willow, but it's not Pussy Willow. She calls him Pussyfoot.
Pussyfoot.
Something like that.
She has a very unique way of talking about them.
Yeah. There's Wally, the football hero that died during a 1983 football game. But there you go. There he is. The cool girl, the 80s girl in lipper print and goth makeup, never speaks. She's in there. There she is. Thank you, Jenn. This is the person I hope has a plot sometime before the end of the series.
She has. It's funny that these three never really speak. At least these two don't at all. I hope they actually have, but you see them do all these crazy things throughout the episodes.
So is that Fern and Sarah? And I can't remember the guy's name. Because they mentioned Fern and Sarah and a guy, and I can't remember the guy's name, William or something like that.
I don't remember. I did not get to write it down.
Yeah, and they said they're never interested in doing their Scooby gang plots, I guess. So that's cool you found that girl. Then there was the marching band, the members that died during the 2004 bus crash.
Let me see if I can find it. It's like taking up my whole screen. I wonder if I can.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Go easier. There they are.
Yes. And then Dawn, the hippie who died in a supply room closet in 1972.
Her?
Yes. And then Mr. Martin, who was a teacher who died saving his students from a fire in 1958 in the chemistry lab. And he serves as their leader, getting the ghosts used to ghost life and some kind of ghost therapy that we see them in the circular chair pictures where they're sitting. And he gives them assignments like write your own obituary.
Right. And they all sit together in a group.
Yeah. So Maddie can see the ghost and is trying to solve how she died. The first season, again, I say, is like a murder mystery. One of the ghosts rules in the show has ghost rules, and one of the ghost rules in the show is that ghosts cannot leave the high school grounds. If they do, they're flung back to where they died. For Maddie, this was a boiler room. There is blood on the wall and evidence of foul play, though the police think she staged it to run away, which seems crazy.
It does.
As the season progresses, suspects emerge, including Xavier, the boyfriend, because the boyfriend is always the first one. See, I feel this one runs more like Twin Peaks. Like you find the missing or dead girl, then the boyfriend is the first one to be questioned. And then the boyfriend has a shady history of stepping out,
Right.
Kind of like Bobby Briggs in Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
So
especially the way his face is.
Yeah. Kind of like secretly angry and
right,
angsty. Xavier, the boyfriend, who Maddie finds out was having an affair with the head cheerleader Claire. There she is. He has also found with Maddie's phone when her friend Simon. This is how I was trying to get it all to come together here. Simon.
Where are you, Simon?
There he is, living brooding. He's always brooding.
What?
Yeah, there is. It's fine. Okay. When Simon fights with Xavier and his backpack spills its contents. Around this time, Simon also sees Maddie, but none of the other ghosts. Mainly due to his best friend bond with her. Charlie finds out but keeps this to himself because he finds out about Simon. But they think talking to the living might be a key. Key's going to come a lot up here, kids. Key to finding out how Maddie died or how their souls can pass on. Xavier is taken in for questioning. Now you can just follow whatever you need to do here. You can do a little free form.
No problem.
Do you have a picture of Xavier's dad?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So Xavier is taken in for questioning. His dad is the local sheriff. Students go on socials saying he's a killer, because of course you're going to. He had taken Maddie's phone before she had gone missing, but to delete, he had taken the phone before she had gone missing, but to delete a text that Claire had. He you know what? He had two girlfriends and he accidentally texted the wrong one.
Yeah, he definitely was like playing on both of them. Like she caught him out there. And now he just doesn't know how to admit that to his father and tell his father the whole truth.
Yeah. Later he finds out it was a fake phone. See, this is where it gets all kind of like crazy, the plot line. It was a fake phone traded out by Claire because Mr. Anderson was stealing from the school, and Claire agreed to get the phone in return for him giving her an A. That's a big mouthful.
Right. And there's Mr. Anderson right there talking about that. And he's just like, shit. Because she's totally going to blackmail him and treat him like that.
Yeah. Maddie had supposedly filmed them. Mr. Anderson smashed the phone, and they actually made a copy of the phone, which is amazing to me.
Yeah.
They took her phone, they smashed it, and then gave Xavier a fake phone so he could give it to his dad. But nobody could open these phones anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So
the whole thing of how they pressed the phone was really weird. I was like, why? I mean, it made the story go forward, but when you try to make logical sense to it, it doesn't logically make sense.
I mean, when I was doing this recap, I had to go back because I really do love the show a lot, but I had to go back to see exactly why there was a copy of the phone. This is a lot of plot here.
Because Simon finds the pieces and Mr. Anderson takes it, but then then ultimately Xavier has the phone.
Yeah.
But isn't that right?
So Claire acts so nervous, she might have done it. That's how they set it up. But she's found to be innocent, except for taking Maddie's phone. And you have a picture of Mr. South that I call Mr. Stone for some reason.
I don't
write in my notes. Mr. South.
Is that the
That's the janitor.
I do
so they
have
end
one,
up one episode you thinking that it's like Mr. Anderson, and then it flips to Mr. South. Like every episode seems to be like a different suspect.
I have more pictures than. Let me stop sharing.
I thought if there was one of him in the hallway.
I have, I just have to find it.
So I'll just talk about him. They found he had access to a weapon they found with Maddie's blood on it, a crowbar.
Right.
I like to talk about that crowbar too, because there's that one scene where Maddie's mom's like looking at the crowbar, and I'm like, oh my god, maybe she killed her.
She does look it back and forth. I was like, how did it get so bloody? And like they were just toss it around and just stay that way. Okay.
See, I had this that turned out to be a dead end, but Mr. South in general, he sees dead people. He does.
He
So I
does.
think he's going to be important to the season because he does see dead people. He's the first person to mention a scar to Simon in the hallway.
Right.
So
He
I
actually
think he knows a lot more than what he's putting forward.
Right. And I think that's one of the conclusions that they kind of come to by the end of season 1 and 2, that people are not really talking about like everything that they know. I did have a picture of him. I don't know where he is. But
That's
he
why
also opened the door
like,
and saw Mr. Martin.
That's why I'm introducing all the people by their suspect arc.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying that Nicole's not Maddie's friend, but it's like, here, this is what Nicole did during the series. You have a picture of Nicole?
Yes.
Let's skip over Mr. South, but
okay.
We think he's a seer. I think he's a seer. So Nicole here, she had buried some of the money because she was the one that did the blackmailing. She was the one that sent the video, even though you're led to believe that Mr. Anderson only sent his phone number to one person. She got this phone number somehow, so she sent this video.
Right. I have a picture.
And the reason that she did this was that she needed money. She's poor. She's a poor art school student. She couldn't even get into art school. She didn't want to leave her friends. They were both going to Chicago to go to college, and she was desperate. So she, learned that Mr. Anderson had the monies, which he got in a diabolical way by saying he ordered uniforms for the band and stuff, but then took the new patches of the bandits and put it over the devils.
Right. I had a picture. There it is.
Yes. And that's pretty amazing, being that he didn't get thrown in jail. He only got let go from work.
Right.
So
I don't know how he didn't go to jail, because was it like he's stealing the money? He was paying himself. That was what Claire found him for.
I thought it was like $15,000 or something worth of,
Well, it was like $4,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one with the one that Simon gives him. I wish I had a picture of that. The image that Simon, or the receipt that Simon puts down, and that actually the principal's holding in his hand right there. It was like $3,800, and then he doubled it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like handwritten down on the bottom, like paid and doubled, and that was like paid by Claire's parents.
Yeah. Which I guess Claire was like, just give me an
A. She did.
It's hard to get an A's nowadays,
She definitely tried to utilize what she knew about him and blackmail him, which was crazy.
Yeah. So after Nicole buried the money, then Sandra dug up the money.
Was it Sandra that dug up the money, or was it Janet?
It was Sandra, because she had it. No, Janet took the money that was in the wall.
Oh, okay.
And Sandra took the money that was buried by Nicole and put it in her dresser.
Oh, yeah.
So she could look guilty, yeah. So it went from Nicole burying this money and saying, but I wanted to go to art school and be with you guys and everything. So she can't, she was pretty innocent. So it went to Sandra and her weird, crowbar looking, she kept looking at the crowbar and stuff. And so she was like, Maddie was like, did my mom kill me? And I'm like, no, not her mom.
I have more pictures here. Let me see. This guy. This was... Oh, that was one of the coaches.
So I'll just go forward to the next
Go ahead, yeah. As I'm trying to find more.
All these twists and turns. It's like, first it's Xavier, then it's maybe Claire did it, maybe Mr. Anderson did it, maybe Mr. South did it, maybe Nicole did it, maybe her mom did it. Then, as we get toward the end of the season, we learn that Martin wasn't telling the truth about in the therapy the circle, that the fire killed him and a student, because he said before that he was saving students from a fire and none of them died.
Right.
Janet was hardly brought up to the end of the season, but because Janet, they said that Martin said that she passed, what they do, I would call it sucked off if it was Ghosts, the comedy series.
Right.
Because they call it sucked off and it's funny. But
it is.
passing on through the exit sign or whatever they do. And he told them that Janet did this like a year before we meet them presently.
Right.
But in the meantime, Dawn, the hippie girl, she actually confronts her. There's now I got to go into terminology here. There's stuff that the ghosts have, like they have a key, and a key is an object that like links them to their trauma. And in Dawn's case, this was a light bulb. In Wally's case, it was a football.
Right.
Just these things from the night they died, because he died at a football game. The football was important, so on. So she has a light bulb. So she, kind of relives her, hers ends up really nicely, because she talks to Maddie, and her whole trauma was that she died whilst people were talking smack talk about her and saying really horrible things about her. And all she wanted to do was turn off this light bulb that wouldn't turn off, because she wanted to hide away from these people that were treating her so mean. And she stepped in water and she electrocuted herself. So when it comes down to, like, she's like helping out Maddie, and Maddie's like, oh, you're a really good friend, and said really nice things about her that made her feel like a friend so she could cross over. And they have like a scar that has represented their trauma. And she like was talking about having flowers and stuff and nice things in her, like, her scar. So she walked out and all the lights flickered. So they knew that Martin wasn't saying anything, lied about Janet, because when Janet passed on, the lights did not flicker.
Right.
So they know that he's lying. And then they find out later on that Martin and Janet are experimenting with using trauma as a key to escape to the living world. And it drives Janet to the brink, because Martin, I guess, just keeps throwing Janet into her trauma instead of doing his trauma.
Right.
So the one time when she's losing the key, she runs away from it and into Maddie's body, causing Maddie to be knocked out because she was having a fight with her mom in the boiler room. I don't know why because people are saying, why does the new principal put cameras everywhere? Because people are just like in the boiler room for no reason.
Seriously, that's like a hazard. They should not be down there.
Yeah, so she was having a fight with her mom, and it left Maddie emotionally fragile. And when you're emotionally fragile, you're able to kind of see ghosts, and your body is vulnerable. So Janet took her chance and ran into her body. Because I always thought it was Maddie hitting the pipe, and then she died, and then the spirit entered her body. But I guess they're emotionally fragile, and then she just got knocked out, so she was also physically fragile. And then Janet just kind of ran into her body. I don't know if you have any pictures of that.
Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah.
And then she runs right through her.
Yeah. And then Maddie's spirit left her, but then couldn't return because Janet possessed her body. But I would call her Janet Maddie, like Janet Maddie.
Yeah.
Takes Xavier's truck, but she knocks him unconscious. But like Nicole and them see her, they take a picture of her with her face in the mirror of the truck, and they're like, "What is happening here?" Yeah, perfect, Jen, perfect. And then the rest of our detectives are left wondering why Maddie is doing this, other than Simon, because Simon sees her. But Everybody thinks Simon's crazy because he sees her. And then Janet Maddie decides to get a train ticket, and we don't know where she's going. And
I have to say that Simon does do a good job of like trying and pretending really hard to like have headphones in or pretend like he's talking on his phone so he doesn't look crazy.
Yes. Yes.
This is Janet in that moment, and then they go forth bodies.
Yes.
In that moment. And there she is.
So I know a number of people that were upset and stopped watching the show because Janet took over Maddie's body, because they really present Janet as an evil person, like both her and Martin are evil people. So we'll go into season 2.
They're really not. They just have like it kind of really shows, even though they're all sharing this one space, they all had their own separate worlds, and especially in separate decades, and they're all looking for answers. And considering the different time generations that they're in, they just have different like values and morals and beliefs. It's kind of nice that they all try to like work together and kind of bring everything together, but you can see like clearly through whatever their trauma is and whatever their scar is, it's definitely very kind of like set to their period, and it's very personal to that actual person, even though they're sharing this space.
That's what I say. Even when I recap it here, people can go and watch and learn so much more of all these subplots and everything that's happening outside the murder mystery.
Right.
It's very emotional. It's very well written. All the actors are really spot on. The character development's great. The music is like, because another Yellow Jacket tie-in, Anna what's her name, Worker? She does the music for Yellow Jackets. Also does the music for School Spirits.
Yeah, this has a really amazing music, like all the different leads up. I even really like the intro song and just everything and how there's a lot of building. They even have that soft music that plays while the characters are talking. It just works so well.
Definitely.
These stairs remind me of Yellow Jackets, like Lottie in the stairs. Yeah. Sorry.
But nobody's pushing Martin down the stairs, unfortunately. Right. Oh, spoiler, sorry.
And there's Xavier.
Yeah.
And this is where we are for season 2, right?
Yep.
Sorry that I am not doing the chat. I missed B had written. I was really angry. So B didn't like when they took Maddie's body over either.
Yeah.
I can see that.
She's not the only person I heard from. I've heard from other people that were mad, really mad about this. Oh, I like that image. That's really nice.
That's good.
Yeah, image. You can really see it.
Yeah.
He also likes the music. I do too.
So season 2 begins with Janet Maddie, again I say, the combined soul and body, going to her childhood home. I really like the first episode of season 2 when she goes to her childhood home, and we find out that her whole childhood is kind of filled with abuse and oppression, that she wanted to be a scientist, but her family wouldn't allow her and wanted her to be a wife and mother alone. I was like, it was the 50s.
Right. Here, I found it.
Yeah, so I mean, I felt like that was so sad. Like she went to her house and she found her own grave in the backyard because they have that little family grave. And it was raining and it was like so sad, that she.
My house is like condemned as well.
Yeah, there's nobody there anymore. It's just like this kind of dead relic of, she has that good memory, like you said, like of getting a lab coat because I'm looking through these pictures.
Yeah.
That was about the only good memory she had. And then, it was like that Mr. Martin, all he did was just drive her home one day and tell her dad that she was a brilliant scientist, and he got him fired from his job.
I have that somewhere. Yeah, that was really sad. Like, I guess it was a pastor, right? It was the Reverend Jones, and the way he was acting, he made this insinuation that that Martin was going to be inappropriate. And he was like, I have a fiance. I think your daughter, she's actually brilliant. It wasn't like that. It was really sad that you saw that, like that hatred that he had, and you saw that kind of abuse, like taken, and there it is right here, taken in the form of, religion.
Yeah,
so they are in the car. And you can see he even comes out with an axe.
Yeah. Exactly. He's trying to shake his hand. Let me shake the hand that doesn't have the axe in it.
So
these shots are really nice.
There she is, and she realizes right then and there that he's never going to let her be anything more than, a housewife and married and barefoot and pregnant.
Yep. And the only other thing I have written in it is about Xavier flatlining when he's between life and death, and he sees people who died in the hospital through the decades, including Maddie's dad.
Yeah. He just wakes up randomly, and it's like no big deal. I didn't even catch it when it first happened. And he sees these women. He's walking through. He notices the way she's dressed. Right? Notices that kid. Yep.
Yeah. With the Walkman. Yeah.
And then there's Maddie's dad.
Yeah, and this guy. I want to know what this policeman's story is. This guy's story.
Guy, right?
Yeah.
And there's the nurse. The way he's standing down, I was like, we are in America, that we're in Wisconsin, and I can't believe the way he's dressed. It looks like they're in London, or he's from London.
Well, Wisconsin's close to Canada, so maybe it's a mounted officer from Canada that kind of got wayward and lost.
Totally. And that's right. He sees his dad and he hears all the beeping and all the, the machines going off, and he realized something's wrong.
Mm-hmm. So okay. So okay, he sees a dead father. So I have a subplot here about Martin. That Martin also wants to leave, so he uses a system of trauma scars and keys to enter Mr. Anderson's body without Mr. Anderson's knowledge. Because that's another case where he's kind of at a low point, like loading up his stuff from school. Probably glad he's not in jail. Not feeling the best about himself.
This is the last time that we actually see Mr. Anderson as Mr. Anderson before the whole body swapping and everything. Remember, this is when he was trying to pack the box, and then he comes back to it and he can't pack the box.
He's very... what does it say behind him? I'm not afraid of storms.
For I am something, sail of my ship.
Yeah. Because I like the other poetry thing they say about the shattered heart, so I had to look up that poet. Canadian poet. So I'll get to that one when he hit that episode. Okay, so in this season
I have a picture of everybody's scars.
Yes.
But all right, let's get back to this season.
I'm gonna say this season we're also introduced to Yuri. We got some pictures of Yuri.
Oh, I've got tons of pictures of Yuri. We love Yuri.
There you go. A pottery making ghost. Here he is making pottery.
Oh,
because that's in my notes.
How messed up was it that he let everybody believe that he was Russian and spoke Russian while he was so pissed at him?
I don't know. It depends if what ghost you ran into, I guess. So Yuri develops a crush on Charlie, which is kind of probably mutual. And he joins the gang eventually, and then we got Quinn, who bonds with Rhonda over learning about Rhonda's musical past.
There's Quinn.
See, this is if you want to listen to, you want to figure out Rhonda's musical past, and go back and watch this season.
Yeah,
it's an interesting subplot.
Hold on, I think I have pictures of the desk. I have to find it. There it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she has this musical. She had a musical partner that she thought was making fun of her in a song, but it's not that way. And I kind of like that. I kind of wish there was like a high school reunion or something where this woman showed up, or maybe sang at it, or
right. Gave her some type of knowledge or credit for it too.
Yeah. So, rest of my notes here, I say a cat and mouse chase happens between Jenna and Martin. Once Jenna is kidnapped by Nicole, Janet Maddie, Janet's soul and Maddie's body is what I'm talking about here, is kidnapped by Nicole, Xavier, Claire, and Simon at the cabin Maddie's mom bought them with the money Maddie's dad had willed Maddie to use for college, and that's what they were arguing about in the boiler room.
Right.
Because her mom just decided, hey, I'm going to take your college fund and buy some property up north. So you can see why she was probably emotionally devastated.
Yeah, because, I mean, her mom is supposed to be the one that takes care of her and helps her. And I know that Maddie's been stepping in and really helping her mom out and really has saved her mom's ass on a couple of occasions, considering that, her father's passed away and her mom has become an alcoholic because of that loss, right? And here she is, like, hoping just to get the hell away and get out. And she knows she has money for college, to know that her mom just, it's gone. Just gone.
I guess I should backtrack here a little bit, because Janet, as Maddie, has become more attached to Maddie's mom than Maddie actually has, because Janet is more of kind of like a little bit more the more passive female that would wear dresses and more like wanting to be around her mom all the time. So I feel weird because now in like season 3, she's kind of like, you were going to stay home and do, online schooling the rest of the year. Like she was really like
wanting her to stay home.
Yeah, wanting to like kind of like be a mother. Like Janet brought this mothering out in her, like Janet Maddie character that Maddie hadn't been because Maddie had to be the parent.
Right. Like she just wanted everything to be better, just.
So
and even the image here with them eating popcorn and just spending more time together, she just wanted to like make up for the years that she lost by being an alcoholic and actually do the right thing this time around.
Oh, and she's wearing a Kira t-shirt. That's foreshadowing.
Yes. I thought you would like that.
Yeah, because I think that she had some popcorn nights with Simon and stuff, and now she's having, with her mom and, all that. And I feel like there's a contrast because, like when Maddie went missing, I think it like hit something in her mom where she's like, I got to be a mom. And then Janet Maddie came in and she's like, oh, this is my daughter. But then it wasn't really even her daughter. It was this other girl.
Right. I have some images of them together. I just got to find it. Maybe not.
Where was I here? Okay, so back in the cabin, I'll just talk about the cabin too.
Okay.
Like, they try to convince her at the cabin when they kidnap her to go back to the high school and cross over, but she fears Martin. Nicole's brother also shows up. Diego, he's there. There might be a subplot between him and Claire. Who knows? I mean, maybe people ship them, maybe not. Xavier and Nicole also find out they've been exchanging flirty texts and music on an anonymous board, which causes strife between them. And that's a funny picture. They're always up to nothing good. And they're always up to...
And there's the Claire and Diego.
That's always funny. Simon finally gets Janet to commit to going back to the school, even though being in Maddie's body would give her an opportunity to be a scientist, which is denied to her in her life. She finds out Martin set the fire that killed her because Janet's dad got Martin fired and ruined his reputation when Martin drove Janet home. And he tried to explain to her dad that Janet was brilliant and wanted to go to college to be a scientist. Just about when Janet's about to let go, she asks Simon for a moment to enjoy her corporeal humanity before giving it all up. This is when Martin strikes. Martin as... Now, you gotta imagine Martin now is in Mr. Anderson's body. See, this is why you have to actually physically watch this thing. So there's a scene where they're like Martin confronts Janet, but Martin is Mr. Anderson and Janet is Maddie. Those are the bodies
right there,
and not the spirits. Yes. So that's why I like shows like this where you have to really pay attention. So Martin, this is when Martin strikes. He kidnaps Janet. He tries to kidnap Janet, but Janet hits him in the head with an oar. But the kids make a plan to catch him. And I like that she hit him in the head with an oar. Just like, I don't know. So she was planning to go back to the high school, and then Xavier comes out, and Martin grabs Xavier and then ties him up in the boat.
Right there.
Yeah. And then, but then the kids make a plan to catch him and lure him to the high school. And Maddie acts like Janet enough to lure Martin into the theater where they tie him up and knock him unconscious, getting the chance for Anderson to reclaim his body. Because Mr. Anderson's just been running around in here, going to like high school reunions and stuff and just hanging out and golfing. He has that scene where he's golfing during the dance.
Yeah.
So he's just been, making his time valuable until he could get back into his body.
That's right. She tases him.
Yep.
That was a good scene.
So Anderson goes to talk to the adults, which I think might flip somebody over eventually, but I haven't seen much of Anderson in the season. He talks to Maddie's mom and Xavier's dad, and they begin to understand what is going on or try. Janet eventually follows her scar and finds her exit is forgiveness. Remember that Dawn the hippie crossed over by being called a good friend by Maddie. When Janet passes over, Maddie understands this is her only opportunity to get into her body, even though she has fallen in love with Wally, which I forgot about.
Yeah.
And part of her wants to stay. I was like, oh yeah, they have that relationship. Whoops.
That's right.
So Maddie runs to the ambulance, still on school property where her body is, and jumps in.
Ooh, I don't have those. And she falls into her body.
Falls into her body.
And I thought I had this one up.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't show that one. It's not on the slideshow. What is going on?
So my last paragraph here is that Wally is lost because Maddie is going, and we aren't sure if he decides to cross over or not. We also discover, even though Maddie wakes up in her own body, Simon is now in the trauma key area, and it assumes he is now a ghost for reasons we are unsure of at this point. But it's also revealed Janet and Martin share the same scar and exit. Janet ties Martin up as a prisoner of this place like he did to her before, and wants to help the gang to find their exits before going out on her own, which didn't happen. This is why Wally wonders if he should exit or not. End of season 2.
End of season 2. Yeah, Wally definitely tries to go back in and definitely see what to do, but I think he realizes doing that he won't ever find out what really happens. Because that's what he really wants. He wants to just know and see what happens to her and where she is. And if he goes to her scar, he's worried if he crosses over, he'll never find out. What is going on with my slideshow?
Because he loves her.
All my slides just went blank.
He's a boy in love. So Jamie can come back now. We're done.
Yeah, sorry. Your slideshow was all white and then it disconnected, so I put my screen back up. I didn't know you had it back up again. It's not popping up for me.
No, perfect. That's all right. We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Oh.
We should just have sound bites. We should have sound bites from the show.
Yeah, well, be careful if they're from the show, then they can get blocked.
Yes.
Too careful with that, unfortunately. But all right, so we will do season 3. So what did you guys compared to season? Let me ask you, compared to season 1 and 2, what did you guys think of season 3?
I kind of like that there's this new element that Simon is kind of like living on this plane where he's alive, but he's a spirit and he's stuck within the boundaries. It really opens up the idea that there's something more there. And this is where I definitely think it really comes into the Yellow Jackets territory where there's some other kind of paranormal being or something else that's kind of holding them all there, which is what Mr. Martin insinuates to. So I really kind of like that we have now. We've seen Maddie go missing and she be a spirit, but it was like this body swapping thing with Janet. And then Mr. Martin tries to do the same thing with Mr. Anderson and everybody kind of gets back to where they need to be. And now there's like this another, the third season's got this third element of somebody can be both in this world and not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I also like the song. I also like the song used during this scene, "Goodbye Old Friend" by Alexandra Savior. It's really good.
It is. You're really good with all the music, Scarlet.
Yeah.
I love the musics.
But it really makes it brings everything together because those silent moments where you hear that music or it kind of like pre-games you for whatever epilogue or monologue we're about to hear, it really ties you into the emotion of what's going on with the show. They really do a great job with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the music too. Even if I don't know the names of all the music, I still.
That's what I mean. Scarlet's so good.
I take down the names of it and then find the CDs at my library and play them on my car. Like first season, I really liked the song by Wet Leg, and I got their album and I really liked it. So it's been since season 1,
That's cool.
That is cool.
I was going to say, I know that I did not see all of the beginning stuff. I remember I had watched the majority of season 1 before I had, not ended up seeing the end of it, which eventually I do want to go back to it when I have time. But I do like that it's different. I agree with what you said. Like, I like that it's Simon now and that he's not dead. So it's something that they've completely kind of turned it on its head.
I almost thought that he took over Wally's body or something, or Wally took over his body, because they had him kind of exiting, and I thought, is this something where Simon died and then Wally or somebody took over his body?
That would be, I don't know, but that's why this is nice that it's a little different, I guess. Hey, Lori, welcome. But yeah, I like that, and like I said, I like that that he's not dead too, and that it makes it different. But I don't know. I will say, for people who jump in here who haven't seen the first and second season, like, I didn't feel like I didn't understand what was going on, but I do feel like there's a lot I missed. Like, I'm trying, like, I get the basics of like what the scar is and what scars are and what the keys are, but they don't like really re-explain a lot of it. So it's kind of not that you necessarily need to know. I'm just saying there is some things that like I kind of think if I hadn't watched some recaps, I maybe wouldn't have understood quite so much. So, but but it still was good. I still enjoyed the season premiere and the second episode.
The show does a good job. I mean, it's not too, it is, considering that it's talking about teenagers, it does a really good job of kind of reiterating the point. So you're right. Even if you haven't watched a previous season, it kind of catches you up to speed without all the details. So you can still pick up where it left off. So you know what's going on.
Yeah, you can definitely understand it. I just feel like I'm missing a lot of the details, but not necessarily in a bad way, in a way that it makes me want to go back and watch it. So I guess there's that. But I don't have enough hours in the day, but eventually. All right. Well, let's go somewhat in order, and then we'll kind of pick up as we go. And you guys can jump in when you want to. If you need me to shut up, just tell me to shut up, as I always say. I talk a lot. I really like how now see, the thing that I didn't see, because I didn't see the end of the season, in that was how Janet had gone into her body, but I get to see how she is forced out. I like how they had this imagery of her falling back into her own body.
Yeah, it's interesting that Jim brought up the one scene that looked like Yellow Jackets in the stairwell, but this looks like when Lottie, when she was like, when she got baptized and she was falling into the lake, and she kept falling down. Kind of like the moose did that too in the third season. It was falling into the lake. But it reminds me of that. It reminds me of Yellow Jackets in that way, that kind of imagery.
I liked the comparison, because right before we see her at the end of season 2, right, we see Simon kick Mr. Anderson right into the spirit of the real Mr. Anderson, which pushes Martin out, and you see it happen like really quick, like immediate, and that's only because he's only taken over the body for not even 24 hours. But Maddie's been out of her body for a while, so like floating through the void like she's 11 from Stranger Things, I kind of liked it, because it kind of showed like that time lapse that's been so long since she's been in her body.
Yeah, but also we're seeing it from her point of view too, I think, which is why we get to see a little bit more of her experience, which you didn't get to see with the teacher, which makes sense to me. Does her
necklace, much like Yellow Jackets, I see.
Yeah, I was going to say, does her necklace, like the actual necklace, hold a lot of importance, or is it just because of where they had found the necklace before in that? Because since I didn't see it, I feel like there's something I'm missing there. But maybe
didn't her dad give her that?
Well, that's Janet's necklace, I thought.
Oh, it's Janet's necklace? I thought it was something that was given to her by her dad, that she because she had it on when she crossed over, and it was gone.
You're probably right.
I might have to look it up. I might have to look up some detail on that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to go back and look at some of the old images, the images that I have now, to find out, like to see who was wearing it previously. I thought Janet had on that necklace, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I get that. I'm trying to. What's
on? Do you know what you got? Any of you know what's on that charm?
It looks like a compass figure to me, but I don't know. That's what it looked like to me, as a little compass or a little star or something. I don't know. All right.
Maddie definitely has it. on like when she's alive. So I'm not sure whose necklace it is, but Maddie has it on when she's alive. So it must mean something. You're probably right, Scarlet. It's probably tied to her father. I'll have to research it.
Yeah, it makes sense that it would
I
be.
discuss because usually somebody has a dead parent, they really hold on to the things that they've given them. So
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I was thinking they mentioned it, but if you guys don't know, then maybe I just thought they did. But you obviously
I never thought to look up the origin of it.
no, I don't know. It looks like a little compass to me. But anyway, that is going on while they're trying to find Simon, who has disappeared because he's in between, but we don't know that yet. And Nicole just sees his earbuds sitting there. And then yeah. And then I was a little confused by this. Maybe you guys can explain why he was seeing his door all of a sudden, where that was supposed to fit in, because to me it was kind of random outside of what was going on, but maybe it's because I missed something.
It kind of really wraps up season 2 because that's what we were talking about at the end of season 2, right, Scarlet?
Yeah.
That he goes to the door and he doesn't know where Maddie is and he goes looking for her. He thinks that maybe the answer is to go through the scars. But then he doesn't. He doesn't. He kind of sees it and realizes that if he does go through the scar, and if he's able to cross over, he'll never really find out what happens to her and find her. So he kind of backs out of it. But that was kind of their plan, to go through the scars and see if they can release each other or like try to get everybody else out. So going through their scars is definitely one of their like go-to moves right now, since they now know that that's an option and that that's the way out.
Right, but they were intending then to originally go out and sort of decided not to. That's what I was trying to get, because they can go in their scars and not go out though, right? Because they can go in. That's what it seems like. Yeah.
Well, with his, he would also leave. He would go and leave Maddie alone to live her human life.
Yeah. He seems like maybe he's ready to cross over, but decides not to. That's I just wondered because it was so quick and it didn't really explain a lot of what was going on.
Plus, that actor, they didn't know if he was going to be in the show in the 3rd season because he's in that live action Tangled.
Well, there's that then. All right. So this is Simon, and Simon shows up inside of Janet and Mr. I need to have a cat.
Martin. Mr. Martin.
Mr. Martin's where the hell's the back?
And
car, yeah. And he does not know what's going on. So he just shows up there, but it's because he followed the red light. If I'm telling something wrong, that's what I got from recaps. Tell me, please. But he followed the red light and it was like somehow a doorway into this limbo something. That he went into this scar. Now, the one thing I wanted to ask you guys, because I know when we were talking about it in the chat, B was saying something about a body. Do you guys think his body is somewhere? I kind of assumed that he just sort of like literally crossed into it, and that's why he's able to get hurt. Like, I think he's in his own body. I think his body's just
I agree.
Because he breaks that glass and hurts his hand and he's bleeding, so it feels like it's his body. But people can't see him. That's the thing.
No, he's like somehow kind of like stuck in the two worlds or whatever.
Yeah, he's like in another dimension, but he definitely still has his body.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. I mean, we could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just
Well, I think they had the scene with the glass, so you would know he was a physical body that could hurt or bleed or die.
Right.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, that's what I think too. But I wonder, like, they still can't touch him though. So he's there, but he's physically. Can the ghost touch him? I don't think they try to. I bet the ghost probably could. Just Maddie can't.
Janet touched him on the shoulder right before Maddie went to hug him. So like he has like ghost privileges, but no ghost benefits. He's got like the privilege of being able to like sneak around and no one sees him, so he can get like, all the gossip and figure out everything that's going on. But at the same time, he can't, like, he can still die and still has like human traits, even though he's like in the ghost world. So
right, but he's fully, I think he's fully in that world. I thought he was kind of in between, but if she touches him, he's got to be fully in that world. It's just Maddie's still able to see him because of what had happened. Did they ever show, did Xavier see him, or did we not find out if he was around him? I was trying to remember, because I would think that Xavier would be able to see him too, but they didn't really go there, so it didn't matter, I guess.
No, and where he can be seen is different, right?
Mhm.
He can only be seen in places where somebody's died. I guess that's the same way for all of them.
Yeah, if the person that's doing them isn't dead. I got that.
I was gonna say, lucky for them, there's been a lot of people who have died in the school.
There has been a lot of people who died. Yeah. And there's Janet. Yeah, she's trying to help him, because since he doesn't know where he's at and how he got stuck there. But she thinks that maybe it's partially because she didn't go through her door, and she wants to try to go through, if that helps. I don't know if that part was them talking about this here. Part of this, I think, is her talking to. Sorry, that's her talking
now,
to.
Did you think that she did that on purpose, or she was really trying to see if she helped him, or she just wanted to cross over and be done with everything?
I think she wanted to help him, just because she could have went through before and she chose not to. But I don't know. I'm looking at it as a point of view, because I missed a lot of it. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. What do you think?
Well, she said she wanted to help in the last season, so I'm assuming this is part of the helping.
Yeah. And I mean, she does eventually get to move on, but she thinks that maybe they're still responsible for it, because she's still blaming, well, they're all kind of blaming Mr. Martin for what's going on. And now she's like, could he be responsible? And she's still mad. Everybody's still mad at him. It's not just her. But this is where Simon gets cut on a piece of the glass that he touches. I thought I had a picture of it, but I guess I do not. He leans on a piece of glass and cuts his hand, and therefore that he's not dead. B says, I thought he sort of lost his body somewhere. I guess it makes sense, his body in some sort of limbo there. That's what I thought. To me, that was what made the most sense, because unless they somewhere find like an empty body, but it wouldn't make sense he could hurt himself unless it's kind of like when you're in I mean, it could be, maybe it's like when you're in virtual reality, that you get cut in the real world, because you get, who knows, but nobody else can see him except, we find out later, Maddie. And this is where she shows the other ghost. She's like, he's not dead because he's cut. So that's where we know that, like she says, ghosts don't bleed. And then we get this conversation between Xavier. Now, I missed part of this. I think it was when we were trying to figure out the video, and I missed a little bit of this scene. You guys will fill me in a little bit here, but he had seen Maddie's dead father while he was in the hospital, because it was where her father died. He didn't actually die where she thought he did, but actually in the hospital, because he had lived when they brought him back there and then died. So Xavier's able to see her father, and she wants him to go talk to him. But the part that I missed is that his father is there and didn't believe him about a ghost, but I missed what their conversation was. So did he tell him he then saw a ghost? That's the part I missed, like what he said to his father.
Yeah, well, I think he did mention him seeing ghosts. I think some of these parents are slowly believing in what's going on, but slow.
Right. Because he had the conversation with his father last season, and his father like shut him down right away and told him like not to think that. But I guess after this conversation, his father just like kind of didn't shut him down, but like shied him away from her, so that way it wouldn't come up anymore.
Yeah, like stay away from the girl who sees ghosts and we won't have a problem, right?
Right.
Kind of. The thing that's the problem right now is that Maddie's trying to find out about her father, but her mother shows up wanting to take care of her. So I know that she wanted, she's happy her mother's there, but she's also a little bit in the way because she wants to talk to Xavier, but she's told she's not allowed to leave quite yet. And then we have Simon talking to everyone else about him being stuck there, and talking about how he walked towards the light, and that's where Wally's like, that was your first mistake. Right. He's like, only because she didn't want to leave you that this happened. So now he's like kind of blaming him. And I get the idea, without having seen the rest of it, that him and Wally did not get along so well. So my question to you guys, since I didn't see it, is, does Simon like her, or is it just he wants his friend and he's jealous because she was spending time with Wally? Because there's some sort of, I don't want to necessarily say animosity, but she even said that he didn't want it, that Wally didn't want to hear about him before. So I just wondered if he was jealous for that reason, or it was just he's trying to spend time with his friend.
Yeah. Did you get any like romantic vibes between Maddie and Simon? I did not. I think that's
like
just
totally
true best friends.
Like, yeah, they're platonic.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured, but I thought maybe I had missed something and wasn't.
They kind of just have really been there for each other and going through it because they kind of got picked on and bullied on, and they kind of just stood up for each other and have been there since they were younger. So they're just like really good close friends.
Got it.
Like and Nicole kind of added on to that, like they were going to go to Chicago and do their thing after school.
Right. Yeah. Nicole was like the add-on, like she came on a little later, but she's been I almost said the add-on friend. I feel bad saying it that way, but she's like the add-on, and they were like cool with it. But Maddie and Simon had plans already, so here she is trying to jump in and make sure she does all these plans that they kind of came up with to move to Chicago, which was the reason why she took the money because her parents weren't going to be able to afford that, and she wasn't going to be able to get money for that any other way.
Right. And he doesn't want to be left behind though either. But I guess if she doesn't have the money, then it kind of fixed them going. So
right.
Yeah, right. So no ghosts have gone missing, and there wasn't any flickering lights or whatever. So they don't think this is where they're talking about, they don't think anybody took his body. But they think that since he came in when I guess when they all go in the scars at once, they make more energy. That was their theory. And since he went in when they were inside the scars, they think that if they recreate it and do it again, that maybe that'll make him get out, but they don't know. And then there's some discussion about how Mr. Morton thinks that there's something evil at the school and the reason why they're all so many deaths. But we don't really know at this point anything else about that, of what's going on.
I said their mascot used to be the devil.
Yeah. Right, it used to be the Blue Devil.
I don't know. So this is Claire and Nicole talking about that they haven't heard from Simon. So they know everything then about the ghosts. They just haven't seen any ghosts, right?
Yeah.
That was
they've been the most apprehensive to the whole idea. Like Nicole's had her issues with the whole idea for a while as we went through the seasons, and Claire kind of jumped on board because of her, I guess you would say, obsession, or just how much she really likes Xavier. So if he believed it, she did, and she kind of had no choice because she was kind of on the outs with the rest of her cheerleader buddies.
Yeah. I was going to say too, the other thing is that it seems like Maddie is friends with Claire now. Is that an accurate assessment, or just that she doesn't hate her? She seems to have gotten over the fact that Xavier slept with her. At least from my point of view, not having seen what happened in between, she doesn't seem mad at her. And granted, now she's with Wally, but I'm not sure what happened there.
There's and it hasn't been that much time, really.
No, there's there's a whole exposition that comes out in season 2, I think, where Maddie explains that her and Claire used to be really good friends when they were little, and then Claire's parents got divorced, or something like that, got divorced, and she left. And when she came back in middle school, she came back looking different, dressing different. Her father, whoever her mom was, remarried, and she wouldn't talk to Maddie and kind of just became a cheerleader and had this whole group of friends and wouldn't talk to her anymore.
Yeah, but then Maddie also didn't help her that one time when she came to her doorstep when she was being abused, and her mom Maddie's mom was all like kind of crazy, and she's like, "Oh, I can't open the door or whatever," and Claire's just outside crying and all that. So they have a lot of back history.
Yeah. Perfect.
It seems like they've made up for the most part at this point, and they don't hate each other, so that's
important. And they share a taste in men.
Yeah. I guess it's okay.
I guess I feel like not enough time has elapsed for them to have the conversations that would come with like, why did you sleep with this guy or whatever.
I have to say though, Xavier does try to do a good job of like staying away from her and being like, "Listen, what I did was wrong. We should never have done that." And you kind of have to be like, "Wow," because it's really Claire that continually pursues him and has like this big bitchy attitude about the whole thing. Xavier is the one that's like, "Listen, I have a girlfriend. Leave me alone."
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. But still, he still cheated, whether she pursued him or not.
Yes,
that's true.
All right. So then we see Simon watching them sell. I think it was a Pokemon card, but I'm not entirely sure. And this is reinforcing the idea that they can't. Although I was watching a video, and apparently this isn't always accurate, but supposedly they can't move things because they go back to where they were. Which is why they have the whole thing later with when Maddie gives Wally the necklace. It like makes kind of a copy of it when they take it, but it doesn't move the original. Is I guess how it's supposed to be, but
and it doesn't last. It just fades. See. I'm shipping Simon and Rhonda.
Rhonda isn't Rhonda gay? I thought Rhonda was with
I thought she was bi, so I'm
twins
or pansexual.
Yeah, I agree.
But when I saw them together in the scene, I was like, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I kind of wondered if she, either way, Rhonda told him that if he needed anything to come to her, but she's like, but I can rescind this offer at any time. Yeah. So she's trying to be nice, but still is a little bitchy, but that was funny.
You can't trust Rhonda, though, after the shit she pulled in the first season.
But I mean, the actors seem to have a chemistry between them.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Picking up on a little vibes.
So, yeah, a lot of this is just about them talking about trying to figure out how to get Simon back. And Janet is talking about how she thinks that they didn't just open the veil for one of them to move on, but they completely lifted it, that they opened a passageway and he was able to cross the boundary. And that's how he got there. And this is where Simon he says that he's not dead. And they talk about how when somebody tries to leave the school, that they're like yanked back to where they first died, where they died, not where they first died. They didn't die in more than one place. But since Simon didn't die, he's like, well, maybe I can get out. So he decides to run off, and they all follow him. And he goes across the track, and it doesn't work so well. He still gets yanked back into. I don't know is this a boiler room? I was trying to figure out what this room is.
There's a boiler room, and then there's a door in the back, and the door leads to a bunker, fallout shelter. So that's in the fallout shelter, and that's where I guess that's really where their Scar is, right? Martin and Janet's Scar is really there in that in the fallout shelter.
Yeah, it leads to the chem lab, though, right? That's what confused me, because they kept saying they were going to the chem lab, and that didn't look like a chem lab. So I was
it used to be the chem lab before the fire.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I wondered. It definitely did not look like that. Hey, Julie, welcome. I was going to say, I should have said earlier, when, Scarlet, what you have a show with Julie, when is your...
Me and Julie are going to be doing some From rewatches in the future. Subscribe to our channel, and we'll keep you posted on the schedule. But we have a couple more story times with Doug. That will probably be on Wednesdays, and some From rewatches, and a lot of From... lots of From stuff before it starts up on apparently April 19th.
That is not official, but nobody will listen to me, so I've given up saying anything.
I don't think it's
no, we know.
I think it was a graphic. It kind of got leaked. I think it was a placeholder, but that's me.
Yeah, I don't know. So far, I haven't heard anything, so I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but I may be not.
So if either of you could put Julie's channel in the chat, because I can't, I appreciate it.
Oh. Yeah, Julie B Deep Dives. I was going to say, I don't know if I guess I can put the actual link, can't I?
Yeah, it's probably. I just can't do it from my iPad right now, even though
I know. I was thinking, everybody, I think, knows where it's at, but I'll put it in. Hopefully, I got the right link there. And then, Jenn, you are doing Lori on Real Cinema Therapy, your show for Cold Water. That's on, I don't remember what night, Mondays?
We stream the episodes on Saturday, and then we go live on Monday nights at 10.
Okay, I was right.
Yeah, you are. Yay.
So people check that out too. I think I have the wrong. Lori's isn't the address. It's different address a little bit. I don't want to put the wrong one. Hers isn't just her username. It's a little bit different. Hold on.
I have Lori's. I can grab hers.
Yeah, but it won't let you do it. That's why I was gonna.
Oh.
But it would let me do it, but I don't have the ability to do it on my iPad.
Yeah, hold on. I'll get it.
Unless you want me to exit and come back, I can do that.
No, it's okay. I think people can find it. I'm just trying to get the actual links here for them. And there, I got it. There we go. That is Lori's. So there. Oh, okay. You put you could have just put the @ I didn't think to do that. Oh, I'm done. Okay. Well, there's the link. So everybody check out those two. Or I should have said that before. And also check out our other Sci-Fi Vision shows too. We have a show coming up on Tuesday at 10. We have our Fandom Access show. And then we have Wonder Man on at Wednesday. So we all got stuff going on. It's a busy week.
Yes.
All right. So back to my image that I lost here. So he comes back to where, like you said, where their scar is. Now, is that where he came in, though, where he first appeared in this ghost world? That he was yanked back there? Or does it have more to do with where they opened the hole?
Where they opened the hole. That's where he walked through, I guess.
Well, I guess that's technically the same thing then, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still part of the entered. So, okay. I just wondered. All right. So it didn't work and it hurt. And I guess it normally doesn't hurt the ghost as much, but because he's, not dead, they're hoping that's why. It didn't tickle. So it didn't. And he wants to talk to Mr. Martin more about like what he thinks is going on, because he thinks maybe he can help him, but they all have him locked in what used to be the chem lab. Because they're pissed off and they won't let him talk to him. And she keeps saying that like he's dangerous when he's desperate, and she's never seen him this desperate. So they've got him locked in his scar, in his worst nightmare. And I think it's kind of mean. I agree with Simon when he's like, you can't do that. It makes you no better than he was at that point.
Right. Because he had her locked away downstairs for over a year before, right? And no one knew that she was down there. They all had thought that she had crossed over. So and she was like keeping tabs on the wall. So she was locked up for over a year, and they're now locking Martin up. So like she's become, like that cycle of being a victim to the abuser and abuser to the victim.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can understand that he maybe deserves to be punished for what he did, but I don't know that that's necessarily what they need to do him.
I think the both of them are kind of tragic. Like Janet's tragic because she couldn't be who she wanted to be, and he was tragic because he was fired for not a good reason and almost like tried to unalive himself in the chem lab because his life was over because Alice had left him and all that.
Right.
So they're both tragic in a way.
They are. It's like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
Well, they all have tragedy and trauma in their deaths, most of them. So that's not super, super surprising. So yeah, Maddie is leaving the hospital with her mom. She doesn't want to leave because she's trying to talk to, like I said before, she's trying to talk to Xavier, but she has to leave with him. And her mother does comment she's surprised that Simon hasn't come by. Now at this point, she doesn't know yet what happened to Simon. She hasn't been there, but she did. This is where she asks her mom, though, if her father died in the hospital as opposed to in the river. And she tells her that, yeah, he was brought to the hospital and died there. And she knows that since that's where his ghost is. Since we know that the ghosts cannot leave the area the area they died in. I'll get it right eventually.
Born and death.
Yeah, born and death. But let's see, there's more about, there's a good view of her necklace, probably. It is like it still could be a compass. It's either a flower or a compass star. I thought it looked like a compass, but it could definitely be
a compass.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, Jamie.
That was definitely what I saw, but it could just be a flower.
That's her key, right?
Yeah. Well,
is it? It would make sense.
The necklace is her key.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah, I have a Yellow Jackets necklace. Now I kind of want a School Spirits one.
That's a really cool one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I dressed up as a member of Lottie's cult. All you need is a heliotrope outfit and the necklace, and you're good.
Oh, that's pretty
cheap.
sweet. Cheap. I like it.
And nobody knew who I was, so there was that.
You never know. All right. So this is, again, they're talking about getting their collective trauma together in order to lift the veil up again so he can go through. At least that's what they're hoping is going to happen, but it doesn't happen. But Quinn, thankfully, I don't know why I don't have a picture yet, but Quinn says that they should wait until all the alive people go home, because it would be really stupid to do it now, because they're just going to bring more people into the other world instead of sending him home. So they agree that they're going to wait until later in the night. And Simon is standing here looking out at, I think he's looking at the band, isn't he? I thought he was, but maybe I'm remembering wrong. I didn't take a picture, but he's looking out because he has to stay and wait. And then let's see, Maddie is on the way home. And when they get near the school, she makes, is that her? Who is that? Is that like a stepfather or no? Or just a Uber driver? I didn't know if there was somebody that was.
Oh, I thought that was Xavier's dad.
Yeah, that's the sheriff. Yeah, the Xavier's dad picked him up and took him.
Okay, it is. Yeah, it is. I didn't look that close. It is.
Being a gentleman, I guess.
Sorry, what, Scarlet?
Being a gentleman.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I didn't realize it was him. It's his face is shadowed. It didn't look like him. So she jumps out to go to the school because she wants to try to find out if she can still see her friend.
Because she saw Wally Clarkfield and she's in love with Wally.
Exactly.
Yeah, she wants to know that she can see him again and see them again. And she runs in and they're like, you can see us, you're okay. And she completely ignores them because she cannot. I thought at this point, and I don't know if you guys did, or it's because I don't know enough of what's going on, but I had thought she wasn't going to be able to see any of them except for Simon. So I'm glad she can still see them. They just have to be where they died. So the rule is, it sounds like, if you have a near-death experience or get thrown out of your body, pushed out of your body, however, that you can see the dead people, but only in the areas that they actually died. Not in the whole building, but in the actual areas, which is probably also why Xavier's having a harder time finding her father, right? Because I assume that it would have to be like not that people didn't die in a lot of places at the hospital, but it's not just like the hospital in general. He has to find him somewhere where there was a death, which is why he went to the morgue. But that's a little bit.
Yeah, but I also think that Maddie and Simon are anomalies in this, and they don't work like the regular ghosts.
Yeah, true, but they can. Either way, she can't. If she can't see them except in places where they died, I wouldn't think Xavier would be able to either. I would be more linked to that. Then there's this kid who is following around Xavier. I guess it must have been like a really quick scene. He's just looking. Or no, that's Wally. I'm sorry. I thought that was that. I thought that was Kyle.
You're talking about Kyle, the guy that keeps.
Yeah, I thought that was Kyle. That's Wally.
Yeah.
I didn't look that close. That's Wally.
So I was like, he was giving him the eye in the way that, like, I'm like, that guy's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Because he keeps looking at Xavier. Because everybody in the hospital is so busy that nobody would take the time to keep looking at somebody unless they're dead.
Exactly.
No, I agree. I tried to get a picture of him, but the thing wouldn't stop. It was like only a few frames, and I couldn't get it the first time I saw him. But yes, if he was looking at Xavier like that, there was probably a reason. I mean, I guess it could have been a kid who had a crush on Xavier, but it looks like there was more to it than that.
Yeah.
So Maddie is able to see Wally. And this is where we find out it has to be where somebody died. Because I was like, well, how come she can? Because I don't know enough about the show. I was like, well, how come she can see him? But then when they all come rushing in, you realize that I don't picture it. They all come running in, that she can see everybody else as well when she's there, and she can talk to them. So at least now they know if they get in the same place, she can talk to them. Let's see. But she can't hug him. She tries to hug him, and it goes right through him, which is intense. I know
that part was so heartbreaking.
It was. And it's heartbreaking too, because they tell her that they can see Simon. well, they don't actually tell her. She says, "Have you seen Simon?" And they say he's here. And before they can explain to her he's here in our world, she takes off to find him, and that's not good because then when she does finally find him, which I for some reason don't have a picture of, when she does finally find him, she's like, "I'm back," and he's like, "I'm not." So yeah, he's stuck, and he tells her to go off with her mom and not to pretend like, or not to pretend, not to let her know she can see him and that he'll meet her later, because her mother's there. So she goes back home with her mom. Now, a lot of this didn't, to me, make tons of sense, but I know it's because I missed what happened. So it sounds like Janet did different things in her body that weren't like her. She had conversations that weren't what Maddie would have said, which was, one was not going to school because she was trying to get away. And also at some point she said something about she wore a dress. I don't know. I guess Maddie doesn't wear dresses.
Well, she kind of bonded with Maddie's mom in a way that, like we were saying before, that Maddie hadn't, because Maddie had to be more of the parent. And then something kind of sparked in Maddie's mom when Maddie went missing. So when she found Maddie, Janet was more like, wanting to stay home with mom, wanting to do movie nights with mom, wanting to like do the rest of her school and be, bonded with her mom in a way that Maddie wasn't.
Right.
Yeah. Though, the only thing that I question about that, though, was that confuses me is she was supposed to be missing from school. So how was she hanging out with her mother, though, without the school wondering, like her not telling the school where she was?
She wanted to stay at school, so they were gonna give her a homeschooler, I guess, like give her let her finish the rest of the year at home.
Right, but I mean, her mother didn't know she was missing, is what I'm saying. The school was looking all over for her, but the way you're saying it makes it sound like her mother knew where she was, because
she came back in the second season. Janet did.
Okay, so the second,
there's a whole subplot. When I say I recapped it, I wanted to recap it quickly. But if people want to watch season 2, there's a whole different subplot of Janet going to her house, going to a party, doing these other things, and then eventually deciding the best place she could be is back at her mom's.
Okay, so there was a period where Maddie wasn't considered missing, but she was staying at home. That's what I was trying to understand, because the school was looking for her.
Yeah, once she got back, then her mom wanted her to talk to Xavier's dad because he's a sheriff, but they wanted to keep it on the down low. So she wanted to see her friends at first and slowly getting back into it. But but the underlying reason is because it was Janet and Maddie's body, because Janet didn't want to do that, because Janet wanted to be a scientist and maybe go to college.
Yeah, well, that makes more sense why it seemed like the other students hadn't seen her a lot longer. That's kind of surprising, though. If she wanted to like go to college, that she didn't go to school. You would think she'd go back to school so she could go to college in Maddie's body. But...
Well, she didn't want the people to know that because some of Maddie's friends knew that she had taken Maddie's body.
I see.
So would it be there was all of this. I tried to make it short, Jamie.
I'm asking too many.
She definitely contemplated it, because she realized like all the opportunities that she couldn't have back in the 50s, she could have now. She contemplated it, but she kind of realized that her time was over.
Yeah, there's a scene where she actually watches footage of Maddie laughing and tries to imitate her laugh. I'm just going to say the actresses that play like Maddie and then tried to play Janet, and then especially Mr. Anderson when he's playing Mr. Martin, they're spot on. They're like doing spot on impressions of other actors, and they're really good.
They are. The show is done really well.
Yeah, they seem to be really good. All right, so Yuri and Charlie are having a conversation. Charlie didn't like that Yuri saw his scar before he was ready to show him, and it wasn't really kind of his choice. But Yuri's like, it doesn't change the fact the way I feel about you. So, yeah, they're still together and happy, and he calls Yuri his boyfriend when he's talking about him. So they're still close. And then, let's see. There they are. They all decide to, they grab their keys and they're going into the chem lab. That was where some of it I was a little confused. That's where they're trying to bring them back and seeing if it works. And then meanwhile, we have Maddie who's coming home and isn't used to being there. And
then
then Maddie goes
when they have that really good Green Day cover. On our own, here I go. Brain sludge, whatever it's called, brain scar. What's it called?
I don't know what it's called. I like Green Day, but I didn't know what it's called.
Brain sludge.
All right. So then back at school, let's see. She
brain stew. It's called brain stew.
Okay.
Brain sludge.
I wonder if I'm not behind. This is where there's a really good picture of the necklace.
Oh yeah, it does look like a compass.
Yeah,
it really does.
It is. There's an arrow at the top. That is definitely. Whoa! What did I do? I just clicked something by accident. Not what I intended to do. That's for sure.
What's happening?
All right. No, I clicked something on the behind the image. It popped open a window, and I was like, "What just happened?" Okay, so she can see Simon there, so she talks to him a little bit, and this is where she's got to quit so she doesn't look crazy. And I keep thinking she really needs to get a cell phone out, right? Or a Bluetooth or something. They do it in enough shows. That way she can talk to him and not look totally insane. But of course she don't do that. Although
that's what Jenn pointed out that Simon does a lot, is that he's always acting on his cell phone or doing something. So people don't look at him straight.
So maybe he thought of the smart way to do it. Because I was going to say, but maybe they can't have cell phones in class. I didn't know if they were allowed to have cell phones in school or not. I don't know. When I went to high school, we didn't have cell phones until towards the very end of high school. So did not know. But yeah, they need to do something so they don't look like they're insane when they're talking to each other. And then they're at the assembly, and this is where I don't know any of their names, but the nasty girls there are
Tara and our girl, Kristen, who is Jenn from Yellow Jackets. I wrote down everything they said. I wrote down that she said, Tara said she should be begging for forgiveness to Claire. And then Jenn said, well, I'm going to call her Jenn. Vanessa says she probably left to get a boob job. And then, because of Claire, she says she probably left. That's why Claire disappeared. And then Claire burns her by talking and saying that she gave. She says this line about giving this guy Caleb a dry hand job and sending him to the hospital, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, and then she says something like she had some kind of implies the other girl had some kind of plastic.
But this mirrors the first. If you've seen the pilot, this mirrors the pilot where Kristen and Tara are also talking about Maddie missing and talking about her. I think one of them calls her Maggie accidentally, and it's weird. It's just it's kind of like a cycle. It's going in a circle.
Yeah, but this time Claire is sticking up for Maddie, and gives them good zingers back, tells them off, and they are meanwhile in the bleachers trying to talk about what they can do while this assembly is going on. And is he the principal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know the actor, but I didn't know it's Alex Sahara, but I didn't know if he was supposed to be the principal. He's a nice actor though.
Who do you know this actor from, Jamie?
He's from Stargate, among other things.
Oh, okay.
I had met him for a long time ago. Yeah, he's really nice. And he's also with this woman, Jennifer Tilly. I don't know her character's name, but Jennifer Tilly.
She's Hunter. Is it Hunter Price? Dr. Deborah Hunter Price with a hyphen.
Okay. And I don't know what she is to the school, but she's talking about that
she's a resident witch because she did that little shush or whatever, and everybody just got quiet. And that's definitely witchcraft.
Yeah, you get all the students to shut up. How do they do that, right?
Because that's amazing. You have to have witchcraft powers in order to do that in the school. I'm just going to say, being a teacher myself.
No, that's true. That's funny. I hadn't really thought about it that way, but you're right. But she tells them they're going to shut down the school. They're opening a new building. But until they do that, there's no extracurricular activities. And basically, she's saying all this because of what happened with Maddie. And that's part of why the students are pissed at her. Pissed at Maddie because she's ending all their fun things because of what had happened. And this is where
I was going to say there's a couple well-placed Susan Lucci jokes there. All my children jokes.
Yeah, they did do that. I can't even. What's her soap opera she's on? I can't even think of the name of the
All My
soap opera.
Children.
All My Children. Okay, but yeah, they made a joke about that. Now the thing is this is where I was saying in the chat. Clearly, these people have a different kind of high school than I did. Because you can't. In my high school, you sure couldn't leave school to go eat lunch elsewhere. You weren't allowed to leave the school grounds.
Oh,
No.
we were allowed to leave after our freshman year and get lunch.
See, that's interesting, but maybe it depends. I guess it depends the kind of school and where you're at, because we sure weren't.
They don't let you do that now. Now with all the school shootings and everything like that, they shut all of that stuff down. They do not let you leave school at all unless it's to like BOCES or written, like strict written permission.
Yeah, well,
because at my school you had to go through where there's a little office area with a bell that you have to ring to get somebody's attention to let you in.
Right. Same.
So a bunch of kids couldn't just go to lunch and come back easy.
You'd see when they were. Yeah, because they were allowed to leave as seniors. I don't know. Maybe my school just sucked. I don't know, but that's actually more secure. Because I know I remember being pissed because I had there were certain classes you had to have like so many credits. It didn't matter how high up you were in the classes. Yeah. So you had to take like a science and I think a math the senior year, even though you could take like a stupid one if you wanted to, which is I think what I did with math. I took something really easy because I had already taken calculus and stuff and I didn't need it, but you had to take it. But I had something like 3 study halls or something and I put them all in a row. But the thing
I had journalism class, teacher's aide, and study hall my whole afternoon. So it was this kind of a blow off.
Yeah, well, that's why I just remember being like, if I have a couple hours with study hall, why can't I leave? Because I had a couple periods that were study hall. You weren't allowed. No, you couldn't go nowhere. You weren't allowed at my school, unfortunately. So, and nowadays you could probably sit there and if you were quiet and get away if they let you have your cell phones, maybe get away with sitting and watching TV or something. But you couldn't do that then. So I don't know. But I had a few study halls right in a row. I scheduled them all together so I didn't have to do anything except for the afternoon or whatever. Take the morning off.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I just remember you did have to still take, because if you didn't have to take those extra classes last year, I could have graduated, but you had to take them that last year, even if you had all the credits to enough credits in that class. Because I remember, I forget what it was. I took something really easy because I'd taken calculus the year before. I'm like, I already got it. I don't need it now.
Yeah, I took a lot of electives my senior year.
Yeah, that's kind of
those more fun classes I wanted to learn.
But it's kind of dumb. You should the last year, if you have enough credits for that, you shouldn't be forced to take one in certain subjects. But that is the way it is. So anyway, yeah. Well, I didn't enjoy school. Well, I guess I didn't enjoy school. Who am I kidding? I didn't enjoy school in high school. I did in college, but not high school. Yeah. All right. So Maddie gets a note that they believe is from Livia, which is Jennifer Tilly, that I already forgot the name we gave her daughter. And there's she's told by, I forget which girl tells her.
Claire.
But one of them, Claire. Okay, Claire tells her that it is meant sarcastically, and it means they're coming after her.
The blue heart letter.
Yeah, the blue hearts.
Mean Girls.
Yeah, yes, definitely Mean Girls.
It's the
I don't know.
The burn book.
High schools, I guess, but yeah, blue glitter hearts. So now they're worried for Maddie. And let's see. I think this is about. They say that's worse, that it's from her. And he wants to talk to Maddie. He's surprised that she's back so quick. And he tries to ask about what happened. She's like, I lost my memory. They said that happens when you hit your head. And she said that twice and tried to get out of it. But she's like, I want to spend my free period in the greenhouse. And she says it really loud so that and sounds like an idiot. She thinks he's an idiot, but says it so that Simon will know where to meet her. And she also tells Xavier at one point she wants to hear about her dad. Let's see. They talk about, there must have been something here with Xavier because I have about the hospital being full of ghosts.
Is it more about Kyle?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused because if she's talking to Simon, I don't. Oh, she must be telling him what Xavier said about the hospital, that that there's ghosts that stay there, including her father. And this is where she asks him how he's going to explain his disappearance to his parents. And he remembers that there's a suspension letter. He doesn't want to get to his house, so he wants her to steal so his parents never get it. But he also has to tell his parents something, which, as we said, and we're talking about in the chat, I think this part is really stupid. So I can buy that the school suspended him so the school doesn't expect him there. But for his
but you know what? They suspended him because if you go to the letter and click on the letter, it's because of absences. So why is his parents letting him go off and do whatever he wants? But then he's mad that they're going to get this letter. But don't the parents know?
I don't know, because to think that they allow him to just skip class to go with a girl he met, which we find out isn't a girl he likes, it's that he is his sister. But regardless of that they're letting him just spend all this time outside of school, that part's really weak in the story, and they need to take care of that. But anyway, she's going to get his iPad so she can send a message to his parents, and she has to get it out of his car. And this is where Wally comes in, I think. And she's kind of busy and can't talk to him, but she does say that she'll meet him later in the field. And then meanwhile, Janet comes and talks to Simon. And this is where she says that she's worried that her not going through her door could be what trapped him, and that she said she can't ask the other people to do the same thing she's unwilling to do. So she basically is like, I'm going to go through my door because it might save you. That's her big plan. And she's, doing another experiment, and she's going to see if it works.
Again, I almost shipped Simon and Janet here.
Yeah, a little bit. But I kind of wondered, my question with this is, she was saying earlier how like all the energy when they go to their scars and everything, that maybe that's what opened it. And they waited to try doing that again until everybody was gone. Yeah. And I remember thinking when she said this, so you're just going to go do it when everybody's at school and somebody else might be sucked in if you're right. But yeah, she only cares, I guess, about letting him out. So she agrees she's going to try to go through her door. He does not tell her to. That's all her decision to do. But the others aren't too happy about it. And then we have this scene where I think I missed something of what the point of this was, that they're creating a group, a club for grave rubbing, the Grave Rubbing Society. Why were they
rubbing?
Yeah, rubbing. But why? I don't understand. What was the point of creating the club? I missed something of why they had to come here to create.
So that woman in front of them would go get paperwork so they could get Simon's letter.
Okay.
Yeah, Simon's letter. Sorry.
Okay. No, that makes sense. I missed that.
A diversion.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I also hear this is where that thing was on the wall.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I saw it. The logo.
Yeah.
So then she goes and talks to Wally, and they kind of flirt and talk about. I was gonna see if I've written down there what they said, but I thought I did. I don't. They can't really hold hands, but they sit together.
And he brings her flowers.
Yes, he brings her flowers, and she says, I wish I could hold them, or something like that. And he says, I wish I could hold you, or something to that effect. It was cute. But he says, should they just call it a great summer fling that never was, basically? And she's like, no, I don't want that. But I don't know how she thinks she's going to have a relationship with somebody she can't touch. But, either way, they talk about how he doesn't hate Simon like he used to, is what that scene's about. And then Janet comes to see Mr. Martin and wants him to let her into the scar so that she can go through to her door. I'm going to 220. Could graduate in 1923.
What?
No, he's talking about the year. Yes, it is 2025. I know, that's what I said. I realized today I graduated high school 25 years ago, and I'm like, oh, geez.
Oh, you can go to your high school reunion.
Well, yeah, they haven't had them. I wish they would. We had one at like 10 years and then we never had another one. I don't know why. It's the people or the ones who set it up, I guess, didn't, for whatever reason, didn't take care of it. But yeah, it'll be going on 26 years this year. So
that's really cool.
That makes me feel old. Technically, it's going on 20 years since college, so that's bad too. That's just as old. Thank you, Dieter. Yes, please, everybody, like the video, hype it if you can. Subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. It is always appreciated. All right, so Janet goes through to the scar and makes him let her go through so that she can find her door. And then all the lights start flickering, and you kind of know, and they seem to know that someone went through.
And also Martin's covering up what I call the hell mouth in his scar.
Yes. Yeah.
With a bunch of stuff. It kind of moves a little.
The whole thing, everything shakes. Let's see. Then at one point, let's see. This is where Simon comes back and tells them, and they're upset that Janet left. And she blames him for a minute, but she kind of gets over it.
And right now there's a song playing called Shitty Heaven, which I really enjoy. It's called Shitty Heaven.
I'm not sure about the name, but okay. But either way, whenever Simon tries to, I didn't have a picture of it. Whenever Simon tries to see, Mr. Martin, he tries to get him out of there, and he ends up knocking the teacher down because he's like, what are you hiding? And when he's in the room too, he sees, which I really thought was ash, because I'm sorry, it looked like ash, but snow falling.
Yeah, it did look like ash at first. Yeah,
but snow falling within his scar, within Mr. Martin's scar. Now, let me ask you guys a question, because this is the part I don't completely understand. So is the scar always to do with the way they died, or is it their nightmare or their fear? That's what I didn't, because obviously part of what Martin's seeing is what happened to him later. So that's what confused me a bit. And I don't know if they're supposed to be confused or it's because I didn't see it.
Oh, I think it's just them working through the trauma of how they died.
Okay.
Like with Dawn, like I was saying before with Dawn, the last thing that Dawn heard was her friends putting her down, and they weren't really her friends, and she wanted to hide. So when Maddie came and said, you're a real friend, and said really good things about her, she felt like she could pass into the next realm.
No,
so Janet, it was forgiveness. So she found out she could forgive Martin, she could go through.
Yeah. No, it's just no. My question, what my point is, I mean, that answers my part one of my question, but part two of my question, what I'm saying is confusing, is the fact that what happened to Mr. Martin when he saw the whole thing with that kid, and he saw him, and when he showed up and he ran across where the bus was or whatever, that. No, from that happening, from that bus crash, is somehow like infiltrating his scar, which has nothing to do with him died. That's why I was a little confused. But I guess
I think that's something new, Jamie. I think that's something new that's happening in season 3.
I guess
the stars colliding.
Trauma. I can maybe.
It has to do with that kind of hellmouth hole thing that's going on too. That's new.
Yeah, I think that might literally be like a hell, because I wondered if that was supposed to be like sort of a hell down there, but I don't know why that kid would be down there. So that part I didn't quite understand.
I'll figure that one out, I guess.
So, all right. So they read her letter, and because they are sad that she left.
Yeah, I felt bad that Janet left. It was too soon, man. Too soon.
And she didn't tell them goodbye. But she says that she's where she's been wanting to go. And for them to keep going. And then let's see this. Then we have whenever Simon talks to Mr. Martin, and they're keeping him there. He says that something's been waiting for all of them, but we don't know yet what he's talking about. It's what he's saying is down there, but we don't know yet. But Xavier goes back to the hospital, and there's that Kyle again who's watching him and follows him. And then we have Maddie goes back to her house. And
yeah, I have a question about the mac and cheese scene. If you ever get there,
the comfort food.
For one, I love this wallpaper. I'm just gonna say.
All right. What's your question?
My question is that in the scene, Sandra takes something out of her mouth and puts it on a napkin. I had no idea what it was.
A mince because she's drinking.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
That's why Maddie picks up the mug and smells it, and she puts it back down because it's got alcohol in it.
Okay, thank you, because I had no idea. I thought she took her tooth out, and I was like, what the hell?
She was hoping to smell the alcohol on her. That's what I was wondering. If it had something to do with that.
Okay.
She hasn't stopped drinking. So that's not.
Yeah, okay.
And then we have here the scene with, you know what, somehow, and I don't even know how, okay, I see. I thought I cut off part of my notes. I didn't. She tells her mom that, let's go back here a second. She tells her mom that things are going to be better. They're going to be normal. And her mother says she doesn't need it to be normal. She just needs her to be safe. And they talk about her father a bit. And Maddie basically says, I didn't appreciate how hard of a time you had when my dad died and raising me alone. And that's when she says it means a lot to her. And when she takes, the mint out. So she still needs maybe some help. And then there is a scene of, I thought it was Nicole that seen her first, but I have Livia there sees her. There is a video of Maddie when she was talking to Wally, laughing to herself and seeming completely crazy.
Yep.
That she's watching. And the scene just shows that her mother won't even talk to her. Her mother isn't very nice. Mm-hmm. And then this, I don't know if this was something that was from before that I didn't see before to understand.
Oh, that's Janet's area.
Who's the note from?
It's from Janet. From Janet to Yuri.
Okay. I promised I would teach you the secret is in scars. So does that have the secret in it? Is that what's in the note? Or is it just telling him he has to go through the secret to get out is to go through the scar? I'm not entirely sure which that means. It could be either. But he's got a lighter and he's...
Yeah, it could be either.
Does it say the second secret?
Sorry, what?
Does it say the second secret?
It says, I promised I would teach you the secret is in the scars.
Okay.
It doesn't say the secret that is in the scars. So I think I'm wondering if it just means the secret to moving on is in the scar. Not so much like there's a secret inside the scar.
Yeah, no. I think you're right. I think it's the secret is being able to leave through the scars.
Yeah, I think that's probably the whole note. I thought maybe there was more, but I don't think there is. All right, he's got a lighter. Do we know how he died? And I just haven't seen that. Or
he had a bad asthma attack in the greenhouse.
Oh, he did say that, yeah. And he got locked in there. Yeah, I'm not sure what the lighter's about, though. All right, so Xavier goes in the hospital. This is where Simon tries again to talk to Martin, and he says something's waiting for them down there. I'm sorry, go ahead. What?
Do you think the lighter is somebody's key?
I assumed it was his, but I forgot the thing about the asthma, so I don't know.
Yeah, the lighter just seems off. Like, I'm not sure why it would be that. But then again, Maddie's necklace is, if that's her key, like there's no real connection to anything else. Like the lighter would have no connection, but that could still be Yuri's key.
Well, I would say maybe it's like just something he has in his pocket and plays with or whatever, but you wouldn't be allowed to have a lighter in school. So,
well, in the 70s you would. In the 70s,
yeah.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you can't now.
Like smoking, like teachers have a student lounge. I've actually read in the 70s. Sometimes there was a student lounge where you could actually smoke in the 70s.
Yes, I believe it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Either way, Mr. Martin tells him that there's something that's been down there waiting for all of them, but he won't tell them anything. He won't give them anything. Yeah, and that's whenever the snow starts falling and the room starts shaking. And then we see Maddie, who sees water dripping from the ceiling, and she sees the boiler room. I guess we see from the next episode. I guess that was supposed to be like she just kind of, I don't know if she fell asleep or what it was, but it's just like she's thinking about it.
Yeah, it was kind of gross when she walked on the carpet and it was all wet.
Yeah.
Gross white carpet with boiler room.
Yeah, I guess that's her dreaming, I guess. But
yeah, I like the eye shot at the end. I thought it was pretty good.
The what?
The way they're shooting things in people's eyes now. Like Martin has one where he sees headlights in his glasses, and then they boiler room in her eyes at the end. It's a stylistic choice that I approve of.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm opening the next. Let me get the next episode open. That's the end of the first episode. Do we have any more comments on this first episode before we continue?
No, I think the second one will go faster because there's a lot in the first episode, and there's not so
much.
That's
because it's the season premiere. I mean, to be fair, that's why. All right.
Well, if they would just go week to week and not release 3 at a time.
I agree. Seriously. I don't want to skip stuff, but I also don't want to take super long, especially because I know Jenn doesn't feel good. We don't want to.
Yeah, but I have half the notes for 2 that I had for 1. I have like 1 page of notes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I take notes as I watch. My problem is, and this is why I have a hard time, I think, taking notes, is because I always say this, when I take notes, I type really fast, but it's like I end up with a bunch of notes because it goes like from my brain to my fingers, and I don't actually read I just type like stream of consciousness typing what they're saying. And I end up with like a lot of quotes, but no context. That's why I have to like stop and actually put "this happens," because otherwise it's just all what they're saying, and it's hard to.
Yeah, but then you could be like, "Here's a quote. Who said this?"
Well, yeah, but I try to I try to do better than that and actually write down what it is, because otherwise it's just all quotes. And I think it's because I've spent so much time, like when I've written reviews in the past and recaps, like making quotes and stuff, that I'd pause, rewind, and I got just really good at it. So.
I guess I should point out that this episode is called Mean Ghouls, and the first one was called It's a Wonderful Afterlife.
Yeah, I like their title. So I don't know if Snap Patty is like Snapchat, I guess. Something.
Yeah.
Snap Patty.
Snap Patty. So this is going around, this video of Maddie when she was talking to Wally and talking to herself. And Nicole and Claire feel bad for her, and they know it was Livia that posted it, and they're going to try to prove it. All right. And now we have Kyle.
Yep.
Who Xavier figured out he's dead, obviously. Sorry, what, Scarlet? You're going to say something?
Oh, no, I was disagreeing. It's Kyle time.
I started high school. They had a place where the students could smoke. It was called the Pit. I'm pretty sure we weren't allowed to smoke at our school, but I don't know because I didn't smoke, so I never tried. With the allergies I have, I'd be so sick if I tried to smoke, so I never smoked. I'm allergic to smoke when other people smoke.
I'm just saying it was more normal in the 70s, though, so in the 60s and 70s, people smoked, even the kids.
Yeah, but now I don't. Well, hopefully now they're not, but, while they did. All right, so he knows that this guy, Kyle, has died, and this is where he's like, if you died on the bus with the other band people, why are you here instead of on the bus? And he said because he was brought there, he didn't actually die on the bus. He had surgery and flatlined. And Xavier's the only person he can ask, because he's saying, like, it isn't very often he sees somebody who's alive who can talk to him. Let me ask you guys a question. This is something that I don't know the answer to, and I'm guessing was explained. I've seen in the pictures going through it that clearly the people change clothes. How do they change clothes? Because, like, even him, he would have had on a band uniform. Where do the clothes come from? What's the rule with
that? I don't really know, because they do have like the homecoming, and they dress up, and they do have like this whole formal dance that they've shown in the previous seasons, and they don't explain how they get the clothes, just have them.
I feel like they probably grab it like they do like other things, like the necklace, and they put on the outfit, and then the outfit fades away. I guess they're in their underwear then, and they have to go back to maybe okay, like see, like Rhonda puts a dress on, and then that fades away, and then she's back to her beatnik gear.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of question that they get food.
Yeah, but but Kyle would be like, wouldn't he just have surgical stuff hanging out of him, like some scissors?
Yeah,
So
maybe it's that they have to find the clothes. Like maybe they're clothes that were at the school, but I don't know why they would be prom dresses. So I don't know.
Maybe it was the
Or
clothes from the
maybe
drama.
Kyle starts out the day on the surgical table stuff, and then he puts a shirt over it because it looks gross.
Yeah, imagine he like stole that from some kid's like hospital room and he's just walking around with that kid's clothes on for the day.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think they get, now that I'm thinking about it, do they get their clothes from the theater prop drama area, like the stage?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, that would make sense. Okay, so yeah, maybe they have to find clothes to take. But you're right, though. If they take it and copy it, it should disappear and they should be in their underwear. But this is a teen show, so they can't.
Well, they have a default. They have the default outfit they died in. That's what I'm saying. Kyle's default outfit would be like surgical scissors and shit hanging out of him.
It's like, yeah, every time I like
really
spawn
have
back
any clothes
out.
on. You're saying band uniform, but he wouldn't have any. He would have no clothes on because he'd be in surgery when he flatlined.
Yeah, I agree with that, but you're not supposed to think about that.
I do.
Yeah, I know. I think that's too. But anyway, they have this conversation about the bus crashing, and he tells Xavier that the bus driver crashed because somebody ran out in the road. But Xavier's like, this is not the story we've heard. It was icy. The bus driver slid on the ice, and this is why they crashed. But he's kind of adamant that this is what happened. But regardless of that, what he wants is for Xavier to find out about the girl Tracy, and if she knew how he felt before he died. Which I'm kind of like not sure why he needs to know that at this point, because it's like, who cares if she knew if you cared about her or not? Because you know what? She's old and she can't be with you. I'm awful, but that's what I'm thinking.
So mean. You are
right. No, I know. I just was thinking, like, it's not going to do you any good. I guess I could see
you want Xavier just to say, well, she's like 80 now, so whatever.
I know, but when he said she was like 40 or whatever, I'm like, what? It's moved. She may have cared then or known then, but she'd move on by now. Either way, he's like, I'll help you find Maddie's dad if you help me find out about Tracy. So they make an agreement. They'll help.
So is Tracy the flute player? Because I have flute player here, and I don't know what that connects with. So somebody jumped in front of the bus, a flute player?
I don't know. He might have said his girlfriend was a flute player, but then she would have been dead on the bus. So I don't know. Either way, they make that agreement. And then we go to this part with Mr. Martin. And I think this was where they showed the kid, but they didn't explain it because I didn't know what the hell was going on. He sees this kid saying, Everett, what happened to me? And that was all.
Yeah.
That,
creepy children. It's Stephen King season, so we're going to have some creepy kids.
Yep.
All right. So meanwhile, Maddie was dreaming about the boiler room.
I like how she snapped into the kitchen. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, then you realize she had fallen asleep or was daydreaming or whatever. But she tells her mom that they have picture day today. And this is where she says something about getting dressed. And she's like, when do I ever wear a dress? And she's like, well, last week you did. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
So she does not wear dresses.
Somebody taking over your body.
Yeah, that's what happens. There is photo day. And Janet's death accent must have forgiven him ever since she took the door. They talk about Janet, I guess. It must be they're saying the same thing again, that they'll all go into the scars so they can get him out. And that's when Yuri says to Simon, they can't expect everybody to go into the scars. But somebody, I don't remember who it was, said something like, but we've all been in them, like, and it was implying that Yuri hadn't yet, is how I took it, that he hadn't actually gotten over the fear of going into his scar yet. And that was why he didn't want to do it. And he's like, yeah, I'll help. Like he agreed to, but was scared and didn't really want to. And made it sound like he had when he hadn't. I don't know. I just got the opinion there. He was bullshitting him and hadn't actually gone into his scar before. But it sounds like he's trying to, going by that letter with from Janet. All right.
A really old car, I'm gonna say.
Yes. So Nicole is telling Maddie that she should take a mental health day because she's seen the video. And Maddie's like, oh, I saw the video. It's just a bunch of trolls. And she doesn't care. But then she's like, yeah.
Like 2,000 trolls.
Yeah, there's a lot of trolls. But she's like, I don't care. So this is the part that confused me after this. And I guess it's just we're not actually seeing all the dead people at the school because this is where they're all picking certain people to go talk to. So I guess they're trying to get a bigger group of people to go to the scars was what I was getting out of it.
Oh, the ghost list? I have the whole ghost list. The Greaser, Fern, Sarah, and Elliot.
Now you can see better.
Tyler, Rachel, Zach, Macy, Aaron, Steph, Jenny, Jack. I don't know what's else here, but there's no Tracy. And then there's Mina, who's the theater girl.
Yeah, there's no Tracy. I don't see Mina. But so what is the?
Yeah, see that one that's all kind of blurred, like it's like blah blah blah, like Jenn, maybe Jenn. I don't know what that name is.
Tyler, Rachel, Jenn, Zach, Steph, Macy, and Aaron are the ones under X6 marching band. Times 6 marching band. I don't know.
Yeah.
So is that what you got out of it? They're getting all the ghosts together to try to get as many of them as they can through there. All right. So that's why he's making.
And I'm hoping for Sarah is that cool goth girl with the leopard top on.
Maybe we don't know. Yeah, we don't know. They tell. I don't think I have a picture of it, but they ask. No. Okay, they ask Quinn to talk to the band members because she was part of the band and she does not want to do that. And let's see, she refuses to talk to them. And we don't really know why. And then we see this part here of Yuri staring at this kid. Look, the kid looks a lot younger than him,
No, I immediately, because of the hair, I was like, Yuri checking out his kid or grandson or brother or brother's kid, because he looks exactly the same hair.
He does. I figured it was his brother or something, but I definitely didn't think it was a guy he had a crush on. Yeah, I mean, I knew that was what Charlie was going to think, but.
Yeah. Because definitely the hair gives it away.
It does. But we find out later it might be his grandkid, which they haven't had that conversation yet, but. All right. And then we have Claire and Livia talk, and Livia says she didn't post the video, which she knows she's lying, but they have no proof. You know, at this point, when she was talking to her, I thought that maybe really Livia hadn't, but then, later Wally finds out that's not true.
I like that they said that Claire was ghosting them, so they missed regionals, which I thought was funny, given the show's themes.
Yeah, but that makes me wonder, is that like foreshadowing anything? Like, is she going to be a ghost later? Maybe. That was what that would make me wonder. But yeah, she hasn't been talking to the cheerleaders for a while. She ghosted them. All right, so they're fighting. And then here, yeah, that's more of them fighting. Okay, so Maddie goes and finds the iPad. That's what a murder... scary movie mask or something on this background.
What's happening?
The background. It's
yeah.
I was thinking it is. It's a mask. You look through the messages, and there are messages about her dad maybe meeting Sabrina, which we think. I mean, I thought was like his girlfriend or whatever, his secret girlfriend. But we find out later, which we'll get to, that it's his sister. Not his girlfriend. And then here's the marching band that Quinn is supposed to be talking to she won't talk to them. And then does Quinn go by she? I keep saying she, but I kind of wonder if goes by they or if she just hadn't told them she did. I don't know.
I think Quinn was going by she until they figure out that she's not, that she's a they.
Okay, that's kind of what I wondered. I didn't want to say the wrong thing, but I wasn't sure. Okay. So then here, let's see. Xavier tells Maddie that he talked to Kyle, who died in the marching band bus crash. And he's asked if Quinn talked to her about the crash because someone jumped in front of the bus, and she's like, no, they skidded on ice. And he basically says that's what they must want us to believe. And she's like, why are you trusting this? Why are you trusting this non-living person to even help him find her father? Because he says that he's, getting help from him. And he also tells her, because of all the things that are going on with people making fun of her because of the video, he's like, I dealt with the same crap when everyone thought I had your head in the freezer. It gets better.
Yeah.
And he says he's going to volunteer at the hospital because, otherwise they're going to wonder why he's creeping around the hospital.
Yeah.
So that's his plan. Wally sees the girls watching the video and them making fun of her. And they talk about, those did not get reordered. They talk about people being mean and losers. And then he falls in the bathroom.
And
then Rhonda yells at him for going in the girls' bathroom. He's like, you're in the boys' bathroom all the time.
Yeah. What else are you going to do with all that time?
Yeah, exactly. But they're not, he's not doing it to be pervy. He's doing it to listen to what's going on. And they find out because she says, the one girl thanks her that she did take the video, or at least it was her. She was responsible for catching her, so I assume that means she took and put up the video. And the one girl, this blonde, feels bad for her, but we don't know if she cares enough or if anything will overcome that. All right.
She also doesn't know French from Italian.
She what?
She also doesn't know French from Italian, but then B clarified it for me by saying sometimes the French do use ciao.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know nothing about that. I don't know what you guys are saying. So then they're in the class here, and the one kid.
Adele Travis.
Yeah, says. I don't have the right notes here, but they're talking in class about a character or something that was.
We're talking about The Great Gatsby.
I haven't read that, but one of them was insane or something, and they were.
It's a classic.
Yeah, no, I didn't read anything I didn't have to read. I mean, as a kid, I do now, but I mean, like in high school and that, I didn't read anything I didn't have to read. So anyway, it's more of them making fun of her in class, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there's Adult Travis. That's not Adult Travis.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. Don't look like it to me. Then again, it wasn't a good shot.
It is.
No, I believe you. I just said it didn't look like it, but it's not a great picture. Either way, she tells Wally she'll talk to him later. Okay, so then they have a conversation about, is this where they talk? No, I think this is just him watching the kid.
You kind of skipped over her writing on the notebook that Wally was around for evidence.
Oh yeah, so that way then the class they didn't see her talking to him. She wrote it into the notebook.
She's trying to find her own ways, like Simon was there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm missing something. Oh, okay, I see where this is. Okay, so she basically asks Claire and Nicole to guard the door. She's gonna go talk to Simon. So she can talk to him and not have anybody think she's crazy.
Yeah.
This time, not videotape her and think she's crazy, at least.
Yes.
All right. So then Xavier goes down to the morgue to talk to Kyle, and basically neither of them found out anything.
Mm-hmm. And I call him in this scene morgue stylist Kyle because he said they have good times styling the dead people and stuff down here.
Yeah, because he said most of them when they die they have a bad hair day.
Yeah.
So they help each other out.
Play cards, I like Kyle. He's got a little bit of a dark humor to him.
Yeah, no, I do too. But this is where Xavier tells him that they do think that the bus was crashed by ice and that nobody has heard that story, and that's what Quinn said. And this is where Kyle's like, there was nobody named Quinn that was in the band, so somebody's lying to you. Unless that's who jumped in front of the bus. So we kind of question, okay, why did Quinn lie? Or is Kyle lying? We really don't know at this point. You doing okay, Jen? You're quiet. I know you don't feel great, but
Maybe
if you
she's
want to,
sleeping.
maybe. I just feel bad. I know she don't feel good, but if she wants to drop off, she can. So yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I can't even talk tonight. All right. So, I don't know what these notes mean. Oh, okay. I see. She, sorry. It is what it is. Sorry, I'm getting sleepy.
Fine.
Okay. So Maddie talks to Simon and asks who blah, 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 who Sabrina is.
Sabrina.
Sabrina.
Sister from another mister.
Yeah, and he's like,
sister from another mister in my notes.
Yeah, he's like, yes, you're right, it is. He says that, she was adopted. He found her through genetic testing. So they are sisters. They have the same mother. And she's like, how could you not mention that? And he's like, because the past couple of weeks have been crazy. And they got swallowed. Yeah, he says they got swallowed by a body snatcher. And but he says, I was busy helping the family I already have. So that was kind of nice. And she smiles at that. And then they talk about what he's going to text his parents, which is that she's going to text that he is still visiting this girl, which again, apparently his parents do not care that he's missing school.
Parents are just like, do what you want. They're friends with their kid, do whatever you want.
You gotta go. I almost feel like what would have made more sense to me was if he let his parents know that he was expelled, because then it would have maybe made sense he was visiting her why he was expelled.
Yeah, that makes
rather
sense.
than visiting her and not going to class. So yeah, I don't know.
Because he's getting expelled because of absences.
Yeah, exactly.
The circle.
All right. So she is caught by the principal here and brought because he sees her down there. I don't know if he catches her talking to herself. I don't think he catches her talking to herself, but she's like, why are you down here? You shouldn't be down here. And he brings her up to the office. And then where to go? Okay. There's this whole thing that I skipped. She does tell Simon that she's hearing things, and she thinks she has some kind of PTSD from when she died. And he does tell her about Janet too, is the other thing. But then whenever Charlie is here, she's talking to Xavier on the phone, and he's like, she can't be in the band. He said that Quinn wasn't part of the band. And she's like, she's in uniform. She had to have been from the band, because she's been wearing this uniform the whole time. And so they're trying to figure it out still. But he's saying that Quinn was lying about something, and she doesn't want to believe that. Let's see. I read that. I'm not sure what that was in regards to. I read that folks online call. Oh, I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Call her they. Yeah. But they often use she in the show. I don't know. I would assume because she seems to be admitting to them in this episode that she doesn't feel like a she. Mm-hmm. I would have to assume that she's gone by she until this point.
Yeah, but that's what I'm assuming. They just assumed she was a she. Yeah. And then when she comes out saying that she's non-binary and a they, they'll probably use they then. Yeah, but they haven't yet. But either way, Charlie here is trying to listen. And this is where he hears about Quinn lying. And he immediately goes back and tells everybody, which isn't good. I lost where it was. Okay, and then we have Quinn here sitting on the toilet upset. I guess because she knows she's not using the toilet. I mean, they're not using the toilet. Crying. Yeah, no, on top of it. It's closed. And they are talking, let's see. She tells they're having this conversation they're having about Quinn while she's not in the room. They are not in the room. And then here we have the principal talking to Maddie, and Maddie trying to not tell him what's going on. She's like, oh, I posted the video myself. They think I'm crazy, so I'm just giving them what they want to see, which actually is kind of smart
I mean, I know that a kid in high school wouldn't do that, but that actually would be a way to get the kids back and be like, I'm crazy, make it just be like, I totally faked it, But either way, it's her, she's doing it. Or she tells him that she's the one that did it. And he's like, I'm concerned about that. I'm going to call your mom. And she's like, no, please don't. Please don't. And then there's more about them trying to find out about Quinn because Rhonda doesn't want to believe it. But he says that that Quinn scraped the name off the instrument case. So he thinks that she stole it from someone, but it's actually she just didn't want her real name, her old name, her dead name, whatever you want to call it, didn't want it on there anymore because they don't feel like that person anymore.
Yeah.
All right. And then Simon sees the red light again. I'm not sure why the red light was there. I didn't quite understand if it was just because he had the watch.
He brought the watch. Yeah, he brought the watch.
Okay, so the watch opens the scar and creates that red pulsing light, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a way out. Right. But he uses it to go into the scar, and he sees the people on the bus dying. So the people that were in the bus crash, they died on the bus, but they were still on school grounds. Am I wrong? I thought though that I was thinking for some reason that I saw in the first season that they couldn't go super far or something. That their area of where they were allowed to move was different, but maybe not because if Quinn was on the bus.
Well, they were also on like the border of the school too, so you don't know who landed on the border of the school and who didn't, and who was taken to the hospital, who wasn't.
I see, but either way,
the whole city's kind of like that. The hospital's kind of like that too, but I don't know if the kids that were on the bus and just happened to be outside the school, did they just go to heaven or what? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like more than 6 people. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but I guess a
couple creepy kids as well.
Yeah, but I guess the idea is whatever property line you're on is where you stay.
Yeah,
and they are inside the school line. But he sees that guy's impaled by the stop sign. He sees different people. He does not see Quinn, but what he does see is it's snowing, which I honestly.
That Smiley baton girl too. That looks like Smiley, but.
Oh, I forgot to get a picture of that. Yeah, what the hell was up with the creepy baton girl?
I don't know. We have a creepy baton girl.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about that. I meant to get a picture of that. I'm sorry, I didn't. I couldn't even get the snow really well, but I didn't get that. But yeah, creepy. We don't know what it's about.
Yeah.
And then this is Nicole and Claire, and they're like, why would Maddie say that she took the video? And they're upset that that happened. And then here, Wally is talking to Simon about, I lost where I was. I don't know. I lost where I was, but they were talking about.
There isn't around the line where it's what's stronger than a human heart that shatters over and over again. It still lives.
No, I didn't even remember hearing that. I don't know. I don't have it written down, but I had that the principal asked about her hitting her head again. She said she didn't remember that.
Oh.
They haven't found. This is about that they were looking at the lists at the school for Quinn and couldn't find Quinn.
Looking through yearbooks.
Yeah. Yes. You're right. Oh, there it is.
Couldn't find photos of Quinn in there.
Yeah, I found where I was. I just completely lost it. Wally was saying you went in the scar, didn't you? And he takes the watch away from him. That's what happened in that scene. Yeah. And then in this scene, it's kind of odd to me. So these are senior pictures. Are they in senior year now?
Yeah, but it's weird because I never got my senior pictures taken in robes.
Exactly. That was what I was going to say. It must be because it's a senior year. But no, we didn't do that. Actually, our senior pictures, you got taken where you wanted. You didn't even get them taken at school unless you couldn't.
Yeah, I had one with like my guitar. I had one with a guitar and other things. And friends got them if they did cars. They got their picture by their car or, whatever hobbies they had.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely didn't get mine taken at school, but here they all get them taken at school in their robe for some odd reason other than they wanted the scene to work.
Well, we had normal pictures taken too for the yearbook, but they
Well,
weren't.
ours you were allowed to take normal pictures, but if you had your own, if you were getting your own scene taken, you could give them those for the yearbook. So I don't think I got
those. We had to do one for the school, and then if we wanted to give out, because you could get those little pictures made, you could give them out in your invites to your graduation, or friends, because me and my friends exchanged them.
Yeah, no, I did too. I just the way we did it is you gave, at least from what I remember, I'm pretty sure you gave them, if you got it taken elsewhere, you could give them that for the yearbook. And that way you could have the one you wanted in the yearbook. You didn't have to get, because I don't think I got it taken at the school. But she starts getting it taken in her robe, and of course it's white, and then they throw paint. I don't know. It doesn't look like blood. I guess it's paint.
Yeah, I don't know. Where does it come from? Did Livia just have a little hose on the side? I said, or is the creepy guy? There was this creepy guy when they were in the media area that was looking at the door, and I thought, is it the creepy guy that kept looking at Maddie? I didn't know if he just thought she was crazy, or I'm gonna spray some blood on that girl or something.
I don't know. Honestly, they didn't show who it was, and it makes me think maybe it wasn't Livia, because she looked kind of shocked.
Well, she went over to that file, and she said she had to look through that file, so it kind of makes her sus.
I don't know. The way she acted, it made me think she didn't do it. They want you to think that, but I don't know. But either way, this part though to me was really kind of dumb, because the guy had already taken a handful of photos, right? Before she gets the blood. And then he's like, do you want to go clean yourself up? And she's like, take the photo. Just take the photo. And I'm thinking
you don't understand the underlying metaphors, that she wanted to be brave and say it didn't affect her.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I get it. And I get her saying that. But I'm just saying, the fact that he asked her, do you want to get cleaned up? She could actually fix it. If this was in real life, he would have just used the photo he had already taken, not even said that to her. I just thought it was dumb the way they did it. Yes, I know.
We're obviously going to use this one now because it's more exciting.
Yeah, well, that's what she, I guess, expects.
I hope it ends up in the yearbook anyway.
Yeah, it might. You don't know.
Plus, you don't have your Stephen King moment. That's a Stephen King moment.
Yeah.
And it's foreshadowed because she wear a Carrie shirt.
I guess, but I don't think they would. I don't even think the school would let her put that in. They would probably nix the idea.
It's her mother. Show. It's imaginary.
I know. Okay, so her mother is spying on her in her phone. How did you feel about this? I don't know, because I didn't see most of what had happened before. But I kind of question, should her mother really be spying on her phone when she's 17 or something?
No, she shouldn't. She should not.
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with her doing that.
Yeah, I don't think that's cool at all.
No. If she had been, if something bad had happened to her, maybe, but she doesn't even, I don't know how much her mother knows. That's the thing. I'm not sure exactly what her mother thinks happened, but yeah, she shouldn't just be reading her text.
Well, her mom's obsessed with keeping her safe. So this is part of the keeping her safe thing.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like if you want to keep her safe, I could maybe have understood if she put a hidden tracker app on her phone. I maybe could have understood that, but reading her text to her friends, that's that's too much.
Putting GPS on her is one thing, but reading her text.
Well, yeah, neither is right, but I'm saying I could understand her putting the GPS on her, but actually reading her text to her friends, I think is too much, and she shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's them saying. I
also put the blood messed up the photographer's backdrop, and that made me mad.
It probably did. Some of these
it's one thing to just hurt somebody in class, but it's another thing to destroy somebody's property.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. So Wally comes in the bathroom to talk to her, don't talk about her, and ask her if she's okay. And this is where she says that she's in both worlds, and she's kind of screwed because she's stuck in both worlds and she can't unsee what she's seen. And he tells her that they can meet up after school when nobody's there, so they won't see them talk, or on the weekends, or is being with him making it worse, because if it is, he's willing to take a break or call it quits because he doesn't want to hurt her. And she says that nothing about you makes my life worse. And this is where she sets the necklace down and she says to take a copy of it and put it on his chain. And he says, what about if it disappears? And she says, it doesn't mean it's not there. And yeah, that is most definitely Compass. You can see it, but yeah, I thought that was cute. I like that. I like that a lot. I thought that was cute. Now the question is too, is if it's a key, does that make a difference? Like maybe it won't disappear because it's a key, right? I don't know. Just an idea.
I don't know. It's a fading key, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. He's happy though. All right. And then we have the conversation here with Yuri and Charlie, where Yuri said, where he says, I can understand you pining over a kid, but you know, at least he was saying who he knew he was pining over. He knew. What was that about? He had a friend, the teacher or something because he knew him when he was young, right? Wasn't it something like that? Okay.
But then again, I think these ghosts are kind of like vampires, though, because they would be probably about 50 years old in real life.
Yeah, so they can. Yeah, I know. To me, I'm like, if he's pining on him, that's kind of creepy because that kid's little, or not little, but younger.
Like the 70s, so he would be like, how old would he be now? Like about like 70.
Yeah, but not only that kid. Yeah, but that kid looked younger than him now, which I kind of had a problem with, and if that was the case. But he's like, no, he could be my grandson, and he's like, no, really, he could be my grandson.
Look at the hair. Look at the hair, Charlie. Look at the hair.
Yeah, but he's basically his explanation is probably going to be it was the 70s when because he's like, how could you have a kid? It was the 70s. He says, I don't agree with spying on our teenagers. My kid had an app so I could see where she is and she can see me too, but I wouldn't read my kids' text. I hated when my mom's peers read their kids' text. I agree. And I think too, that's a good idea too. You both know where each other is. And it's not like you're hiding that you know where she's at. And I think that that's okay. I just don't like, she shouldn't be reading her friend's texts. It's creepy. I understand parents do it. I don't know that I agree with it. I'm not a parent, so I don't know that I can give an accurate, but I don't like it. All right. So then we have they come in and this is where he says, how could he be your grandson? And he's like, can we not do this now? They have brought in Mr. Morton, but that's first they talk to Quinn. And this is where Quinn says that she watched she was out. They said, where were you? And she said, growing a spine, thanks to Maddie, that she saw her in the library get sprayed with the blood. And she wished she had done what she did because she says they couldn't find her in the yearbook because that was back when she was called Jacqueline, because that's her name. And Quinn always made sure to be sick on picture day because otherwise we'd be wearing some frilly dress her mother got her that it started with a name, but she never got who she was. And that she wanted whenever she died, that was her chance to be someone else. So she basically changed her name and became who she felt she was because they were. Because the Quinn isn't a she or a he. It just fit more so than Jacqueline. And that they never set out to lie to anybody. That if anything, they felt they were being more honest to them because they called themselves Quinn. And of course, they all are okay with this and happy that they told them how they felt. And then before we finish the conversation,
I think this kind of works because they're all kind of outsiders.
Yeah. And I get it. They're like, you're my friends. I told you the truth of who I really was, which I never was able to do when I was alive, is basically what they're saying. So yeah, that was good to see. And then we have on the field, Nicole is taking candid photos for the yearbook of the cheerleaders, and something's up. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's going to do something.
Yeah, getting in with the cheerleaders.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she's just trying to get friendly with them or if she's intending to do something nasty. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out.
Both of those, Jamie. She's going to get it in the group and then do some espionage.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so hold on, I was seeing something. Okay. So they have Simon has brought Mr. Morton into the car shop to talk to them, whether they like it or not. And he talks about his flashback, and so they can know the truth. And it has to do with the bus accident. But the night about what happened, someone jumping in front of the bus, did he know about it? Because he was the first one on the scene when somebody jumped, or when the bus crashed, but as a ghost, not as a person. And Maddie's like, well, did the driver scream? He doesn't remember. Simon asked him if it was snowing, and he says, yeah. And what he remembers, before he tells him what he remembers, he said that he didn't move the town to the town to teach. He grew up there. He spent the summer there as a kid, and he had this friend, Ralphie, who said to cut through the graveyard when it got dark. And then it started to storm, and he ran, but they realized Ralphie wasn't with them. And here he had gotten hit by lightning. And what are the odds, right? He falls on the ground, and they don't know what to do because they're kids. The other one gives him a stick and says, don't let him swallow his tongue. But he goes off to get help and tells Mr. Martin, Everett, to take care of him. But he starts having a seizure, I guess, from the lightning. And Mr. Martin freaks out and runs away because he's a kid. And I think he thought he was dead. He's tried to get him up, but he wouldn't get up. I think he thought he was dead. And then Simon and them were like, well, did he die there? And he said, no, he doesn't think so, that his parents and the doctors ran to get him after they called for help, but he was gone. He just vanished. They thought maybe he wandered to the river, but they never found him. But they did tell him it wasn't his fault for leaving, which is true. He was a kid. But he said that years later, after he'd already died, he heard the music that Ralphie always sang, and he followed it. And he realized that it was coming from somewhere underneath the floor of the chem lab, where the chem lab was. And he found a hole. He went down there, or he opened the hole, I'm not sure with, but he went down there, and he found other ghosts down there. He said, there are others in the school that are not like us. That he didn't know what was down there, but he couldn't find a way out, and something grabbed him like they were pulling him underwater. When I came up for air, I was blinded by headlights.
So you see the headlights in his glasses, which I thought was a cool effect.
Yeah, like I must have taken it right after that. So he ended up in front of the bus, and had never intended to be. So he was already dead, though. And I think it's Simon who asked, how did the driver see you? And we don't know. That's kind of the big question. So the idea is that he ran in front of the bus, and the bus driver saw him and swerved, and that's how he crashed the bus. Now, the fact that like Kyle saw him, he might have seen him because he was dying. So I don't know that Kyle seeing him means anything, but the bus driver saw him even though he was dead. So did the bus driver have, a near-death experience? Was it something else? Or did it have to do with him being pulled down into the hellmouth by the other, something down, we don't know, it was the kid, something down there. Did they cause it to happen? We don't know. But this is where he thinks that there's evil down there. And he thinks that there's some kind of evil down under the ground, and that this is why there's a lot of kids that died in this school. And that is where it ends. We don't get to see anything else. So, the end. So, yeah. Anything else? Thoughts? I tried to not take too long because I know it was getting late, and I think Jen already went to bed, maybe.
Already passed out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope she's okay. I know she didn't feel good. She's calling off work because she didn't feel good.
Yeah, that's all I got, because I haven't seen episode 3. I'm gonna kind of group 3 and 4 together because it's hard enough. I mean, I don't know if we can even do 3 episodes because it's a lot.
No, 3 is too much. I think 2 is already pushing it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to take more and more weeks, which is why I said let's do 2.
Yeah.
So
I like how the season's going so far. I'm curious to know more about the Hellmouth. Well,
yeah, and it does. Watching it does make me think that this is a show I would have liked if I had kept with it, and I kind of wish I had. But I just know that at this point, because I've moved on to season 3, like I'm not going to have time to go back. So I'm just going to stick with it from here on out. I do enjoy it. So, and I will continue to try to get interviews. I don't know that that's going to happen. I wasn't able to get.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, who knows? But I wasn't able to get the junket, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so not next week, this week, so everybody knows, we will be back on Thursday at 11, not next Sunday, only for this week. So this Thursday at 11 Eastern is our next live stream. We're going to be going over episode 3 and 4. And you can, if you want, join us for our watch party, which again will be at 8:30 Eastern, but on Thursday. So we'll watch the episodes together, and then we will do another live stream. And then after that, it will continue to be on Thursdays, but only for one episode. And I assume that the watch parties will probably move to 9:30. We'll probably keep the 11 o'clock time, unless you guys, for whatever reason, can't do 11. It works better for me. So I assume
10 would probably work better for me and Jen, because we're
okay. Well, we'll talk about this Thursday. We need to do 11 because we have to have
or 10:30 maybe.
Yeah. So this week Thursday will be at 9 or at 8:30 and 11. But stay tuned to Discord for the following Thursday in case the times change. I will let you all know in Discord. I did post the schedule for this week. If people want to check that out, please make sure you also check out our videos on the video tab. So you can see our other interviews that have gone up and that are coming up. There's a lot more coming up. I've been behind on a lot of things, but they will be getting posted. And also check out our lives. Like I said, Tuesday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Karen, AJ, and I have Fandom access where I'm actually trying to think like what is even on, because now Runaway's done. They have Dunkin' Egg, and they have stuff I don't watch. I feel like there's something of. There's a show that I'm blanking. I'm like, what is the show that I have? And I'm like, what is the one I have seen that I have to talk about? And I am like,
which one?
No, I was trying to think of what it was, because we were doing. There's something, I don't know. There's a show that's I'm talking about, and then the rest of them they've seen. At least I think there is, but Runaway's done. So I don't know. Got to figure it out. But there's a lot of stuff we'll be talking about on Tuesday. That's our Mishmash show. And then on Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we have Wonder Man, and the watch party for that is also at 8:30 on Wednesday. And that's for episodes 4, 5, and 6, because they're only half an hour shows. And you can get those in links in the Discord. So check all that out. Do you have anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
Nope. That's it for me. I'm going to hit the hay after.
I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah, I'm going to go along with the recap and everything, but I tried to keep it as short as I could.
No, it's okay. I just knew it was going to be running really late. That's why I was trying to push down to get done, because it's already almost.
It's not going to be like Wednesday where it went on for like 90 minutes or whatever.
Well, that was really my recap. Well, thank you for doing that, and thank you to Jen for doing the images for that, so I didn't have to do them.
That's
and
cool.
then and then next week, or not next week, Thursday, like I said, the three of us will be back to talk about more school spirits. And hopefully Jen will be feeling better, and we can hear a little bit more from her next week. I know I talk a lot, so I don't know, didn't get a chance to talk, but she doesn't feel good.
We did with the recap.
Yeah, no, she did with the recap, but I know she wasn't feeling good, so hopefully she's getting some sleep and doesn't just come on and be like, "What happened?" because we disappeared. So if that happens, but yeah, we did. For anybody who missed it, Scarlet did do her recap first, and I know you said you're going to put the timestamps in the video.
I'll put some timestamps in there,
which I greatly appreciate. Thank you for that. So yeah, if you guys want to catch up on the recap, you can do that. If you missed it, you can still do that. And yeah, we will see you on Thursday for the next episode. So 2 in 1 week, 4 in 1 week, technically 4 episodes.
Oh yeah,
so, yes. So we're getting there. We're getting caught up with them. But yeah, good night, everybody. Have a great night. Please like the video, subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision, hype it if you can, and we will see you on Thursday.
Ciao, everyone.
Ciao, everyone.
Ciao.